Good afternoon, everybody. We're on time this week. We're on time. I'm in. What's up, A118? Hey, Omni, how are you doing? After over a week of having troubles breathing and pain in my chest when I walk. Oh, God. Went to the doctor, had x-rays done, and had pneumonia, but I'm on the mend. Okay, that's good. Pneumonia is nothing to screw around with, so I'm glad you got that taken care of. I'm sure some people probably would have tried to power through that, and that wouldn't really go for the best. I'm glad you're feeling better. That's not good, though. That you had to deal with that, though. I'm glad you're okay. I'm glad you're on the upside of it. For me, I've been okay this week. Thankfully, hasn't been too stressful with work and whatnot, but mostly overall I've been feeling okay, which has been a bit of a difference. A little stressed here and there, a little anxious, but as far as everything else I usually deal with, it's a little bit better. And then yeah, I'm glad you're doing well. What's up, Jacob? What's up, A? Stixie? Moon Knight is ever so closer. Cannot wait. Me either. I really can't wait. It's I'm so excited for it, and it's like you said, right around the corner. We got, man, when I don't like calendar. It's literally we still got 2 weeks. We got Halo next week. So, like I've said on the channel before, I don't know how reactions are going to go to it. I'm going to try, but Viacom, CBS are assholes. So, we'll see. I'm going to try. What's up, Shams? I'm doing good. How are you? Day's been going good so far. Woke up about 2 hours ago, had a little snack, and yeah, getting geared in for the rest of the day. And good night. It's 0 a.m. Well, thanks for showing up anyway, Shams. I hope you have a good night's rest. Hello there, Sketch. I'm doing all right, Stixie. Thank you. How are you? Haven't been here in 2 weeks. How am I? Good. So much concern for my well-being. I really appreciate it. Hope you guys are all doing great. Thoughts on the Defender shows on Disney Plus? Hell yeah. I mean, I don't know what else. I mean, ideally, that's where I wanted them to be. And they're there. So I am glad about that. I'm excited. I'm happy. Because that's what I wanted. Have I finished? I did finish Stranger Things Season 1. What a ride it was. Yes, it was. Oh my gosh. It was so good. So emotional, so intense. It was a blast, man. I had a lot of fun reacting to that first season. And we'll be starting Season 2 this week. So, we'll see how it goes. See if it keeps up that momentum. Got to watch The Batman last Sunday. What'd you think? What did you think, Sketch? Do you think the Eternals could turn into the zombie form? What if? Because the Eternals were still on Earth during the events of the episode. Well, they're machines. Vision's unaffected. So, no. I would say no. I mean, I don't think they would qualify to become zombies. Oh, what's her name? What's her name? The illusionist one. Sprite. Now she could because she's human now, but I don't think the other ones could. What's up, Adit? I'm doing good. Hope you are as well. Don't stop doing what you're not supposed to do. but also do what is not to be told while doing what is also asked of you on opposite day. All right, moving on. I'm not going to try to decipher that right now. I don't have the brain power for it. Hey, Omni, hope you're doing good. I'm recovering from 2 days of pub crawls. Damn Patty's Day. Well, Ragu, that's an important holiday for you guys, isn't it? I had a mini celebration. I had honestly pretty much forgot that it was even coming about. And I did a little Elden Ring stream with some Baileys. That was about the extent of the celebration that I had for it, unfortunately. Tomorrow, it is 66 days until Kenobi. Can't come soon enough. Feel okay, thanks for asking. Yes, it's my glorious purpose to say hi on every live and go to sleep. I really appreciate that, Shams. I do. Well, thank you for stopping in. Thank you for fulfilling your glorious purpose, and I hope you have a glorious rest. Harry Potter versus the Scarlet Witch. That's not even a fight. That's like a squirrel fighting a bear. Scarlet Witch would effortlessly whoop his ass. Just saw No Way Home on digital. Oh my effing gosh. I loved it. Is that your first time watching it? Yeah, it was so good. I was actually, before coming on here, I was watching the normies reacting to it for the first time. Well, two of the four had already seen it. But, yeah, I watched that and Blind Wave's reaction to it. So bad. Like, I know, like, I don't know the struggle it would have had to have been to try to stay spoiler-free for anything past the theatrical release. Which is kind of insane. But I'm really glad that you loved it. I had a blast with it. Paul Dano is doing a comic book called Riddler Year One. Really? I'm going to have to read that. Thank you, Justine. Harry Potter versus Doctor Strange. Again. Not a fight. Not a fight. I've never been much of a Batman fan, so the movie was okay for me, but I thought it was too slow. I definitely get what people were saying about it being very grounded. It's fair enough. It was like the more I think about the movie, the more I enjoy it, the more I love it. It's a 10 out of 10 for me. Gave me everything I've ever wanted. 68 days till Stranger Things Season 4, and that gives me 68 days to catch up. Voldemort. Nobody in the wizarding world can beat Doctor Strange or the Scarlet Witch or even stand a chance. I'm just going to say that right now before you throw out any more combinations. There is nobody, no one in the Harry Potter universe that could, like, hold a candle to Scarlet Witch or Doctor Strange. Bailey's is good. It is. I wish I had something in the house to mixed it with, but I was just drinking it straight, so still good straight. Still good. Yes, we cannot go to the movies just yet. Fair enough. I still forget that, like, not everywhere's open up for all that sort of thing. But I'm glad you got to see it, though. I still need to pick it up. I want to see the special features that they have on it. I really want to check it out. And the hardest part is to avoid spoilers for the first couple of weeks. That is true, because that's when all the hype and buzz is about and when everybody's talking about it. So I guess that's fair. Like, once the initial hype dies down, you don't really see too much about it anymore. That's fair. That's fair. Team up Doctor Strange and Constantine. That would be cool. That would be cool. But I think a more power duo would be Doctor Strange and Dr. Fate. I think Dr. Fate wouldn't play well. Constantine wouldn't play well either. He's very much an egomaniac in a lot of ways, but Dr. Fate is above all about order. So whether it's for good or for bad or for whatever, if it inhibits order, he will either cooperate or let certain things happen. So I don't know. I don't know if that would be a good team, but I do like the thought of Constantine and Doctor Strange teaming up because those are my two favorite magic users from Marvel and DC. Well, DC, it's a toss up between Constantine and Zatanna, and I'll be completely real. I love Zatanna. She's powerful. She's awesome. She's badass. But I gotta say, like 90% of the reason she's so high up my list is because of her outfit. I don't really get the hate for the Batman. I don't feel like there's a lot of hate. I haven't seen hate for the Batman. I've just seen people just not really vibe with it. Well, that's not true. I still see Snyder cultists hating on it every now and then for ridiculous reasons. Strange seeing Daredevil on Disney Plus, but still cool that Daredevil and the rest of them are on Disney Plus now, part of the MCU. Well, I still don't think it's still not clarification or confirmation that they're in the MCU yet. But I'm glad they're there. I want all my Marvel stuff in one place, adult or otherwise. I don't care. I don't want to go between two different places for my Marvel stuff. So I'm glad it's on Disney Plus. What about the discussion that was had in Stand By Me, Mighty Mouse versus Superman? I've never seen Stand By Me. I don't know that conversation, but I will just tell you right now, I've watched Mighty Mouse quite a bit growing up. And I'm sorry, Superman would destroy Mighty Mouse. 114 more days until Thor 4. What's up, Deanna? How are you? What if in No Way Home, Toby and Andrew could be coming into the universes before one of them dies? That would be unfortunate. Unfortunate. Lots of reactors I watch reacting to Spidey now. Not sure how they had the willpower, and most of them were spoiled. Yeah, that is true. Some of them definitely didn't make it through unscathed. But it is what it is, man. That's what happens when you have to wait, when you do it for the channel. I was like, I'm not waiting. I'll do a review. 47 days until Madness, aka Doctor Strange Multiverse in the Madness. Man, so close. It's getting closer. I can't wait. Thoughts on J.J. Abrams saying that in an interview that the Superman movie he was producing with Ta-Nehisi Coates is officially not moving forward. I hadn't seen that, so that's the first I'm hearing about it. And I'm wondering if that's happening in response to maybe Michael B. Jordan's Superman project that's being worked on. Maybe they decided to only go with one of them. Maybe there's a shift in perspective in general on what they want to do with Superman. And who knows? A lot of stuff can be shooken up with this Discovery and Warner merger, which I'm very curious about. But yeah, I don't know. I didn't have really any strong thoughts on it to begin with. I'm still very adamant that I want a Superman or a Man of Steel 2 that has Henry Cavill in it before doing any Elseworlds Superman stories. But whatever, they'll do what they want to do. But who knows? Maybe it's a good sign for Henry Superman. What's going to happen to the CW? In reference to what? In reference to what? What's the fifth letter in the alphabet after O? T? He also said he was looking forward to Michael B. Jordan's Val-Zod series. What do you think is happening to Iris? I have no idea. I don't know. I don't even remember how she got time sickness. Just watched Coda, one of the best movies of the year. Truly emotional and sweet movie. Hope it wins Best Picture at the Oscars. Have not seen it. I had no idea Superman and Lois was taking a week off. My Thursday morning routine was messed up. Yeah, it sucks. But they're back next week, so we'll be back on gear again until their next break, I can only imagine, will happen again. Also watched Drive My Car on HBO Max, another great film. Never even heard of that one. Never even heard of that one. What are you most curious and excited about in Stranger Things Season 2? To find out how they get 11 back, and to find out, one, how Will copes with being back with his friends and all that, and then also uncovering the secrets as to what is going on with him now that he's back. Those are the two things Three. Let's come up with another one real quick. To what extent has Hopper sacrificed his soul to this organization? So those are the three things I'm really kind of hanging on to right now. Am I going to watch the A24 film X? I'm going to try to go see it tomorrow, I think. I really do want to see that. Sorry. Keep forgetting to put up some of the chats. Sorry. Got stung by a bee for the first time this Monday. Have I got stung by a bee? Oh, many times. I've been stung by wasps. I've been stung by yellow jackets, hornets, bees. I actually, while mowing grass one time, mowed right over a yellow jacket nest, causing them to swarm, and just they messed me up, man. When I ran inside, they were all over my pant legs and my socks, shoes. I had shorts on too, so that didn't help because it was hot as hell outside. But they were all over my legs. What's up, Terry? Give Goldface his own TV spinoff. Just kidding, but props to the actor who fully commits every episode. I like him, man. He's a lot of fun to watch. He definitely chews up the scenery so much, and I love it. I really do. I love cheesy when it's appropriate and done well, and it's I think they did it pretty decently in that episode. I know sometimes, especially in the last season, I was like, some of the episodes just got cringe in the way that I couldn't enjoy it sometimes, but not yet. I haven't felt that yet this season, which is good. What do you make of the articles around Disney Plus and Marvel Studios are developing a Daredevil reboot? It's not yet known if it's a complete reboot or a soft reboot continuing from season 3. Yeah, man. I don't know. I've seen the headlines. I haven't read any of the articles because I don't know. Just I don't want to get into the mix of things or the speculation. I'll just wait and see what happens. But I have seen that they've been talking about it. There's also the talks that Echo is a pseudo Daredevil sequel. We've heard those rumors. So it's not surprising me that to me that they're looking at doing some of these things, and it could go either way. You know, a lot of people are misconstruing the words from Charlie Cox and the words from Vincent D'Onofrio and running with it and taking it as gospel when it's so blatantly a non-answer. It's not confirmation of anything, so I don't know. I'm not really going to get into the swim of things until Feige or something in the series, the show, the continuity, the universe is going to be addressing itself directly. But it could go either way. They could do a complete reboot, or they could just soft reset the world, because there's a massive time skip after the end of season 3 if we were to pick back up with Daredevil in present day, which would essentially be in and of itself a reboot or a soft reboot, because it's more the definition of soft reboot, because it's not directly following up anything that came before, but it's still in that continuity. So, which is the direction I would prefer. I would like to keep everything in the Defender universe canon, but I don't think they also need to be beholden to it, because so much time has passed since we've actually spent time with any of these characters, which means we can come back to them and their lives can be in any number of various outcomes that weren't set up at the end of season 3, so they can detach themselves from that while keeping themselves connected just enough. That's what I want them to do. I won. You want to know what you win? Sure. What's up, Kalia? How are you doing? You win the one more Spider-Man movie of your choice, whether it be Amazing Spider-Man. Well, don't promise me something I can't have. These are all very promising things. But if I were to pick one of these, it would be a Homecoming 4. I want another Tom Holland movie. I do want another Tobey Maguire movie. I would like another. I want Andrew Garfield to come back for the Sonyverse films. But rather than betting on a pipe dream of something that's less likely to happen, I can't wait to see what Tom Holland's Spider-Man looks like after the events of No Way Home. I personally want a full-on Superverse reboot, similar to what Matt Reeves is doing with the Batman. Like a great sci-fi director to direct a self-contained Superman trilogy with a few spin-offs. That could be interesting. That would be really interesting to see. I'd watch it. Actually, did I hear about the Paul Dano Riddler comic? Yeah, somebody mentioned it just a little bit ago. I'm probably going to check it out whenever it comes out. Thena versus Black Widow. Thena. You think Sony will give in and make The Amazing Spider-Man 3? See, I don't think they will directly make a Spider-Man 3. I think they will continue with what they have been doing with their Spider-Verse characters. But, like, you know, the spin-offs, like Kraven, Morbius, Venom, Carnage, Black Cat, like all that stuff they've had planned, but they will make Andrew Garfield their universe's Spider-Man. That's what I think is going to happen. I don't know that we will get a standalone Andrew Garfield Spider-Man sequel. We'll just have to wait and see. I have to stay off of live chat and be very careful on YouTube and Twitter. We have open theaters, but my husband has MS and 2 hours is hard. At home I can pause for bathroom breaks. All that of course. You guys got to take care of yourselves first, so that makes a heck of a lot of sense. Had to stay off live is what I should have said. No, you're fine. I understood what you meant. You have a Red Ranger coming up in Stranger Things too. I do know that he's coming eventually. Yeah, I knew about that as far as that goes, because whenever I saw the Power Rangers thing, they were like, "What's his face from Stranger Things?" Stranger Things Season 2 premiered during Halloween 2017. Stranger Things likes to base its seasons airing around themes of the season. Interesting. Am I a fan of The Office? I've only seen like 2 episodes, so I can't say that I am. I enjoyed those 2 episodes, but I don't know. I never really got sucked into the... I didn't really get sucked into it in the episodes that I saw, but I don't know. Maybe I just need to watch more, but... I wouldn't call myself a fan, but I have liked what I've seen. In the end, episode 8 of The Flash, do you think Iris is going to have powers to time travel like she did? I don't think she's going to have any permanent powers because of this. I think they'll eventually cure her of whatever this is. We still don't know how she got it. We still don't know the extent of this sickness and illness. All we really know is that she is breaking apart through time and space, which is weird because it makes me wonder, because in that last scene we saw her jump forward in time after that dinner. So like, what did everybody around her see? Was there a version of Iris that is there that went on autopilot? But if there wasn't, if she literally leaped into the future, how much time did she lose? Because it didn't seem like it would have been much, because otherwise Joe would have been like, holy crap, where have you been? You've been gone for weeks, or something like that. So, I don't know, man. I got a lot of questions about what's going on with it. Will the Snyderverse ever be restored? Highly, 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 highly doubtful. Like, I 100% doubt it. I'd say I'd give it a 90% that it will never be restored. especially after all the stuff that Ben Affleck has said in the last couple months. Don't think so. Doctor Strange versus Mysterio. Doctor Strange would whoop the unholy shit out of Mysterio. Heck, maybe this is a DC Films niche. Create a self-contained universe for each Justice League character, and then once it's all wrapped up, maybe people will be ready for a new DC cinematic universe. That'd be a really weird roundabout way to do it, but who knows? Maybe it could work. It's a lot of stuff to juggle and keep track of, I would say, but it could work. Got a TV show recommendation for you. Santa Clarita Diet is a good one. If you haven't seen it already, it's on Netflix. I'll have to check it out. I have not heard of it. Rewatched Eternals, one of the best MCU films. I really enjoyed it. I know some people didn't, but I liked it. I liked it a lot. I wouldn't say it's one of the best, but it's definitely one of my... It's definitely up there. It's in the upper middle for me, I think. Am I seeing these? Well, quite obviously. I've been reading chat the whole time. Should I rewatch Shang-Chi? If you're in the mood for it, go for it. If John from Superman and Lois never gets powers, where do you think his future lies? Following Lois, following John Henry Irons in tech, or making his own path? I would like for him to make his own path, but I really want his powers to awaken at some point. One way or another. I really do. But, I don't know. I don't know what that dynamic will create. Because I feel like this, like, polarizing kind of dynamic between him and Jordan can only sustain itself for so long. But then again, I don't know how that would shake up the dynamic if they both kind of had the same thing. Or like they said, or like Jordan offered, it's like, hey, we could be like the fraternal twin dynamic duo or something, or whatever he said. That could be cool. That could be cool. What's up, Tharuka? How are you doing today? Ezra Miller as Spider-Man? I could see it. I could see Ezra Miller playing a Peter Parker. Hope you're doing well. Thank you. I'm doing pretty good today. I really appreciate it, Tharuka. I agree that the Defenders universe should be kept canon, and doing a soft reboot for some of the characters will be good to go, using the blip as a way to do the soft reboot continuation. Exactly. Because whatever dynamics were set up would definitely have been shaken up immensely by the blip. Have you heard about that Invasion show? No, I have not. I have not. So I'm not sure what that's in reference to be honest. If I had to delete the Arrowverse show, which would I delete? Okay, so if I had to delete a Arrowverse show or an Arrowverse show, which would I delete? Damn. Honestly, probably Legends of Tomorrow. Because it's just the least consequential to everything. I enjoy it. I enjoy it more than Supergirl, but unfortunately I think Supergirl fits into the overall universe a little bit better than Legends of Tomorrow does. And Legends of Tomorrow has just been going out of its way in the last couple of seasons to just further distance itself from the other shows too, so it just feels like it's its own thing most of the time, and it's become kind of frustrating, to be honest. Is the Paul Dano Riddler comic canon to the Batverse, or is it main comics canon? It is canon to the Batverse. There's also a tie-in novel that's a prequel to the Batman movie as well, that gives some context to the world as well. That's canon. So as I can only assume that the Paul Dano Riddler comic is canon. Have hope. I'm trying to. Just wondering, how do you get TV show footage to put in my YouTube videos? I watch it and I watch it on my computer. I use OBS to screen record it. That's how I just watch it on Netflix, on Hulu or whatever, and use OBS with the screen capture on and record it while I'm watching it. For live TV show stuff, like the CW shows that I watch, I have a DVR from my cable company linked into a adapter that goes into my computer so that I can watch it and record it that way. That one's a little more complicated and a little more finicky, but it's stable for now. Just finished watching The Boys for the first time. So excited for season 3. Welcome to the club. Welcome to the boys. Season 3 is going to be nuts, and I can't wait. Should I watch the Batman? I mean, if you're a fan of DC, if you're a fan of superhero stuff, if you're a fan of Batman in general, yeah, definitely. What do you think about the Marvel Zombie show that's coming up? It's whatever. I'm not really looking forward to it. I'll watch it, but I'm not like, woo, Marvel Zombies, because at the end of the day, well, I don't know. Who knows? They did just add those new parental controls. Maybe they can up the ante with the Marvel Zombie show, even, because that's the thing about it. Like, if it's going to be as kind of tamed back as it was in What If, I don't know. I don't see it being that interesting. So I don't know. We'll see. I like The Office. Cried watching the finale. Can't rewatch it though. It's too cringe now. Really? Interesting. Will there be another season of Batwoman Legends now that the CW are moving to HBO Max? CW is not moving to HBO Max. Where'd you read that? Where's that coming from? But yeah, I don't know where that's coming from. But right now, none of the CW's DC content has gotten green lights for their next seasons. None of them so far. So we're still waiting to hear on that. What's the greatest portrayal of fantasy that you've seen in your opinion? Honestly, probably, Lord of the Rings. I would have to go, Lord of the Rings. I think Lord of the Rings perfected all of that. Not as much magic involved as I probably would have liked, but I like it fits for the state of the world that they're in. Yeah, Lord of the Rings, easy for me. I think you'll recognize a couple people in Stranger Things season 2, probably, more than likely. If Marvel Studios or DC Comics called you to do a main role in the universes, what mainstay? You can only do one. Which one would I pick up? I've told you that before. I'd pick up. You've asked me this same question before, Stixie. I would pick up Marvel because I trust Marvel with the properties that they're making, whereas DC is extremely hit or miss on the film side. So I don't know. I am a DC guy at heart. So like I just even despite that, I would feel more comfortable doing something with Marvel, I'll be honest. Miss Marvel reactions seem mostly positive, maybe skewing a little young for some. Only saw one bad reaction, but that guy had a problem with a kiss in Eternals. Oh, don't need to say his name. I already know who you're talking about, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, okay. The only thing I've seen a lot of people very negative about the change to her powers. That's it. That's the only thing I've seen that's been negative about the show so far. Through the last 30 minutes of the movie, the Batman, I really needed to go to the bathroom, but I stood strong. Good. It's a long movie, almost 3 hours long. So kudos for making it through. I didn't. I had to run to the restroom when I went and watched it. But I didn't really miss much, thankfully, when I chose to go. I'm glad you made it through, though. Those last couple minutes when you got to go can be rough. What's up, Howdy? Hold up. What's up, Howdy? Jeez. What's up, Coyote? Billy Butcher versus Homelander. Let's go! Dude, I can't wait to see how that goes off. I really don't think you can do Superman in a live-action movie format. Yes, film made Superman popular, but I'll say it's TV that truly explores the character. That's true of... I don't... One, that's not true. I don't think it's impossible to do a live-action Superman film or in the film format at all. But it's true that TV gives you more time to explore characters. But film can do that too. I don't agree with that statement, Adid. Looks like not everyone is going to like Miss Marvel, seeing how it's a kid's show. More than likely, it's probably going to be, even though I'm going to react to it, it's probably going to be I don't expect to see a lot of people tuning in for the reactions for it, to be honest, but I guess we'll just wait and see. It is going to be skewing towards a completely different demographic, though, and we'll see how it lands. I think that might be part of why that there's like 3 weeks where Miss Marvel and Obi-Wan Kenobi will be releasing both on the same day. Like, we're going to have 3 weeks of overlap. Like, instead of having Obi-Wan, then Miss Marvel, or whatever the reverse of that is, there's 3 weeks where every Wednesday we're getting a new episode of Obi-Wan and an episode of Miss Marvel. So it's going to be, yeah, it's going to be rough as far as keeping up with things once both those shows are out. But I will tell you, Obi-Wan gets major priority for me when I'm watching it, but I will be still watching both. But yeah. What's your current movie or year, or the year? Current movie of the year, game of the year, and movie of the year so far? For me, it's Peacemaker, Elden Ring, The Batman. Dang. Movie of the year, The Batman so far. Game of the year, Elden Ring is the only new game I've played this year so far, so default that. And right now, for favorite show, it's probably either Peacemaker or The Legend of Vox Machina. Had watched a Pagey video yesterday. He was talking about the CW Arrowverse crossover is having another crisis event. It's not really a crisis event, I would say. I don't know. Well, I don't know the version he's talking about. If he's talking about the comic crossover that comes out in April, I'd have to check out his video to confirm what he's talking about there. But I haven't heard of anything else. But that does feel like a kind of crisis event that's happening in the comic crossover. If I had a choice between a green pill or purple pill, green pill gives you the power of all the Eternals. 6 Avengers combined. What the hell? The purple pill gives you the power of Superman, the 10 rings combined. The 10 rings suck balls, so I'm not... Those are shitty powers. It's just... like, the 10 rings from the comics is a whole other story, because they're basically the Infinity Stones. But if we're talking the movies, the 10 rings powers are shit in the movie. I like it. It's fun. It fits the story just fine. And I love Shang-Chi, but like it's not like a sought after power I would want outside of the immortality, but Superman comes with that too. So, I mean, I would go with Superman. Powers of Superman. How do you feel about the transition from animated to live action of what we've seen from some of the characters in the movie trailer? I'm still excited, but also, I think it's fine. The only thing that slightly bothers me a little bit about the whole thing with the Grand Inquisitor is that we've seen this race before in live action. We've seen his race before in live action, and they don't look like that. So it's very jarring and confusing as to why they went the way they did with it. I don't know. The fifth brother looks a little weird, but it is what it is. I think that's a little more forgivable. But yeah, I like it. I don't mind it. Will I react to Lost? It's one of my favorite shows of all time. I've never seen it. Maybe. I could definitely watch it sometime, more than likely. It's definitely on my list of shows to eventually watch. I would firstly love for Alfonso Cuarón to direct the self-contained Superman trilogy. Mix the tone of Prisoner of Azkaban, the science aesthetic of Gravity, and a great Superman movie. I don't know. That might be a little too bleak for me. Because that feels like we'd be getting a whole thing in the tone of the first 40 minutes of Superman, of Man of Steel. I need something with a little more color and brightness to it for a Superman universe. For me. Got the prequel novel on Audible earlier this month. Haven't listened to it yet, though. Who is your ideal X-Men team to be introduced in the MCU? Just the classic lineup, you know, Jean Grey, Beast, Storm, Cyclops, Wolverine, and then just sprinkle in whoever you want after that. If I had to delete 2 DCEU movies, whether it's already released or it's going to release, you delete Aquaman 2? What's wrong with you? I would definitely delete Wonder Woman 84 and the first Suicide Squad. There are a lot of positive reviews from you, Moon Knight. I cannot wait. Me either. Is OBS free to use? Yes, it is a free program. I watched The Batman 2 days ago. It was really good. Set up the Joker as a main villain of Batman 2. How do you feel about getting a Joker for part 2? Well, to go off the interviews of Matt Reeves himself, that wasn't meant to be a setup for a sequel. Just to acknowledge that this character exists in the world. So I don't know. I don't think we'll see an active Joker in this Batverse for some time. I think we'll spend some time with some other villains for a while. I don't expect that we'll see him as the main villain of Batman 2, to say the least. But I'm excited to see what they do with that character, especially since Barry Keoghan is playing him. That's a very interesting person to have as that character. Are we getting Black Panther 2 this year? I don't think so. I don't think so. The Rock will take your face off because he's hungry, he devour, he eat, and take shower. Okay. Okay. Am I a wrestling fan? No, not really. Not really. Thoughts on Hogwarts Legacy? I think that everything we saw in that state of play was not how the game is going to look. At all. I don't believe it. I don't believe anything they showed us. Did I watch the Spider-Man No Way Home bloopers? No, I'm not so far. And yes, I just kind of addressed that up there. I did see the Hogwarts Legacy gameplay. I don't believe it. Which we already have the Joker 2, Batman 2 version of the Joker is a different Earth. Yes. I'm going to watch Turning Red and the Atom Project tomorrow. My Grogu plushie that my hubby got for my B-Day last week has been keeping me company while I've been sick. Aw, that's adorable. I really liked both those films. Turning Red was a charming surprise. Same with the Atom Project. It had a lot of heart to it that I didn't expect it to have. Probably the weaker movie of the two, but it was still really fun. And happy belated birthday, Justine. Have I heard about these circus fires? They were intense. I like that. I want to watch The Batman because Ben Shapiro gave it a bad review. Really. Not surprised, but if that's your reason to watch it, sure, go see it. But I'd say it's just a good movie. Ms. Marvel looks solid, one step closer to Young Avengers. Yep. I personally think Alfonso Cuarón could do Superman justice. It's just his style. It's grounded, but it's very visceral. And he has a very, I don't know, desaturated kind of look to his films in general that just gives them this, I don't know, edge that I don't really want to see again in a Superman movie. When Tom H. said he had a solo movie, which was obviously No Way Home, and a team-up movie next, do you think that team-up movie could be in Doctor Strange 2? That's a good question. I don't know. It could be, but I don't know. I don't think we'll see him that soon, to be honest. My opinion. Why did I crack into mode there real quick? My opinion, Man of Steel is the most underrated comic book movie. Most underrated? Maybe not. But it is definitely one of the most underrated comic book movies. Up until last year, it was my favorite DCEU movie. And my favorite Superman movie. The boys going to go against Obi-Wan at the same time. Yeah, they will be on in the same weeks. But given, you got to remember, The Boys comes out on Friday night, on Fridays, and Obi-Wan comes out on Wednesday. So they're not on competing days. So hell yeah. I'm excited for the Echo show. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Especially if we're going to get more Daredevil stuff in it. What do I prefer? Weekly episode releases or release the whole season at once? Weekly. I will weekly all day long. I mean, fair on you. My favorite all-time Superman movie that I've seen, well, it's not live action. It's All-Star Superman, the animated movie. But none of the live action movies have really kind of touched on that tone a little bit. Like, I like what Christopher Reeve's done, and he was a mark of that for a long time. I love his films. And I still have a lot of problems with Man of Steel, but it's still my favorite Superman movie that's been made so far. Superman and Lois is better than any of the Superman movies we've had ever, in my opinion. So yeah, take that as you will. I think Man of Steel is just like it's what we're out of what we've got. It's my favorite, but there's still a lot of things lacking in it that I want out of a Superman movie. Reason for the change for Miss Marvel's powers is to be more in line with Monica Rambeau and Carol Danvers' cosmic powers. She does use her embiggen powers too, as mentioned in the new Rockstars breakdown. That's true. Though very minimal. I feel like Man of Steel is like Batman Begins. Good, but not great. Actually, I like Batman Begins more and more each time I watch it. But again, different feelings, different strokes. Who would win between Daredevil, Shang-Chi, or the Batman? Batman. Watched Homecoming last night, and the mid-credits scene made me think, did Toomes not tell Peter's identity on purpose, or was it Strange's spell that made him forget who Peter was? Oh, I mean, the spell would have had nothing to do with it yet. The spell would not have happened yet. That's still like a year or two away. Yeah, Toomes didn't give up Peter's identity on purpose because he didn't want to betray Peter to this group of people. So, there's a little respect that he got from having been saved by him. Because Strange's spell doesn't happen again for a whole year or more, I think. Who's my favorite MCU and Marvel character? Spider-Man. Like, Spider-Man, easy. No one is remotely close to Spider-Man for me. Just wish the Grand Inquisitor had his Sith eyes and his voice from Rebels. I mean, they could have easily cast his VA to be him. I mean, it was Jason Isaacs, right? That played the Grand Inquisitor. Why not just have him in makeup? It'd look way better than this guy. But it's already done. Unusual that Marvel is giving out screeners for Moon Knight. 4 episodes seems like a lot, especially when it's 4 episodes out of 6. So there's only 2 episodes that reviewers haven't seen. So this makes me just jealous. You remember Prisoner of Azkaban, very different from me. I've always saw it full of wonder, and yes, some dark subject matter, but it was never super dark overall. I mean, it's literally dark. I mean, like I said, there's some hopeful elements in it, but overall, it's like the turning point. One of the first turning points of the series towards maturing. And that's one of the things he talked about. Is like, it was visually dark, subjectively dark, and yeah, it was pretty darn serious. I mean, that's most of Alfonso Cuarón's films that I've seen. It's kind of had that similar tone. I mean, Mice and Men, it's like, shit, what was that other one? Is that the same? Which one am I thinking of? I'm mixing up things here. Damn it. What's it called? Children of Men. Children of Men. Hell, Roma. It's just kind of his style, though. It's just his style. Like, I don't think it fits a Superman at all. For me, again, personally, but yeah. Do you know who's playing the 5th brother? Yeah, Sung Kang from Han from the Fast and the Furious. I did notice that. When I said I wasn't excited for Aquaman 2, I just didn't see enough of it to get me excited for the film. It looks cool, though. I mean, the first Aquaman is all I need to know to be excited for Aquaman 2. Does Anthony Starr won any awards for playing Homelander? He's so good. I don't think so. Going back to Star Wars, do you feel the shows are leading up to the sequel films? Yes. Building off an offshoot timeline. They are 100% building up to the sequel films. Whether we like it or not. As far as we know, we are getting a Black Panther Wakanda Forever this year. It's out in November. No official announcement is made. It's been delayed. Okay. I didn't remember when it was. I didn't actually realize it was initially meant to come out this year. Anthony Starr isn't going to get any rewards for a while since his arrest. I mean, I don't know if that'd play into whether or not he gets voted on for certain things, but you never know. Enterprise was awesome. Just one of those fun turn your brain off movies, for sure. What superhero that has been introduced in the MCU would you want to play, and one that hasn't been introduced? Spider-Man, and hasn't been introduced. Man, I don't know. As far as hasn't been introduced, I don't know. I really don't know. What's a historical event that you wish you would get its own movie / short series? Ooh, And a lot of the things that immediately come to mind have already kind of had their own kind of adaptations. I really don't know. That's a tough one. I'd have to really think about that one. I was thinking maybe like the whole Pilgrim time frame, It's not really a historical event, though. Because I'd really like to have some light shined on, like, the whole uneasiness of that era, just to give some attention to kind of the colonization of North America from the indigenous tribes and stuff like that. I don't know. I think some more attention needs to give from that, and not the way they've been depicted in film and TV in the past, and just kind of given, I don't know. I think we need like an examination of that period. I think that would be interesting, just to give some respect back to all of that. Who could you see Henry Cavill play in the MCU? Sentinel. Sentinel. Seeing Reacher becomes the first Amazon Prime series to top Nielsen's streaming chart. I'm happy for Alan. I still need to watch Reacher. I might react to it if I have time. I really want to watch Reacher. Do you think they could bring in and handle powerful villains for the Batman like Clayface, Poison Ivy, Mr. Freeze? See, like he said, Matt Reeves said he wanted to do a grounded Mr. Freeze, but I don't know what he means. Because I don't feel like any of these characters should be watered down to a guy that likes to mold clay, or a woman who just uses plant poisons but can't actually control plants. Like, if you devolve them down to like just being a person who has like a shtick and not a person who is this thing. Like, if Mr. Freeze was just a guy who locked people in freezer cells, like, he didn't need the cold suit, he didn't have the thing with his wife, maybe he just was a serial killer that froze people to death and didn't have an ice gun. I don't know. I don't want to see any of those characters stripped down to just being a guy with a gimmick. So I don't know what he means by grounded, because it just depends on emotionally grounded, or does he mean like realistically grounded? I don't know. But we'll just have to see, because he wants to tackle Mr. Freeze. So I guess once we get a glimpse of that, or an idea of how that would work in his world, we'll just have to wait and find out. I think that'll give us an idea of how he might handle any of these other characters if they ever come about. Thoughts on Arcane, the animated series? It was awesome. I reacted to all of it. Go check out my reactions. I'll point you over there. I don't want to spoil any of the entertainment. Moon Knight has been described as a bloody, dark show, and I'm pretty excited for that. Favorite actor of all time? I don't know, man. That's too hard of a pick for me, I think, to narrow it all down. Ooh, the ventriloquist. I just saw that pop up over here, so I'm sorry about that. That'd be a good Batman villain to have in the Matt Reeves world. Hell yeah. With Scarface. Ooh. Who do you think is the actor of all time? I don't know, man. I don't know that I have a favorite actor. Yeah, I don't think I actually have one that I could say for certain, with absolute certainty. From character descriptions, it sounds like they're making their own version of Dick Grayson in the Gotham Knights show, and the cast seems pretty good. I'm hopeful they make a good show. I hope so. I don't like the premise so far. I don't like what I've heard about the show. I'll give it a chance, as I do with all of the DC stuff, but we'll see. We will see. I feel like the MCU gets more movies than DCEU movies, but DC TV shows have more than MCU shows. Yeah, DC has been thriving on TV for longer than anything. The DC TV shows have been kind of carrying DC in the mainstream after the Dark Knight trilogy came to a close. And yes, Children of Men, that was what I was trying to say. MCU timeline, Homecoming is in 2017. No Way Home takes place in the year 2024. Don't hate. Oh, yeah. Don't hate a 7-year difference. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, never mind. I don't know why. I was like, it's only 2 years later, completely, like, forgetting about the 5-year gap. Great movie? Yes, pretty dark. Have I seen Succession? I've not. Kieran Culkin would be a great Mad Hatter. Ooh, I would like that. I like Kieran Culkin, man. I haven't seen Succession. I've seen some clips of him in Succession, but I think the first time I ever saw Kieran Culkin in anything, it was in Scott Pilgrim, and he was my favorite character in that movie, man. Remember when Wanda Maximoff was mentioned in Days of Future Past? We actually saw her in Days of Future Past. Superman Lois is really funny to me that Tauro learns about his wife on Bizarro World, and he calls her a goddess. Completely forgot about the mission, and he asked her name on top of that. Yeah, man, I like that moment. What's up, Major T? Oscar Isaac said he wants to see Midnight Suns team up with Ghost Rider, Daredevil, Punisher, Moon Knight, etc. He accidentally revealed the MCU Midnight Suns roster. One can hope. We'll see. She was in the house playing with the younger sister while Peter was in the basement. Out of Justice U and Gotham Knights, which am I more excited for if they go past pilot? Justice U purely for Diggle. Justice U. I don't get the hate for the sequel trilogy. Loved all 3 films. They were all great movies. All power to you, man. All the power to you. The only one I like was Force Awakens. I had fun with Rise of Skywalker, but I thought it was a terrible movie. And I still, while it was it looked great, I thought The Last Jedi was a complete mess. And I still get upset thinking about that movie. So, I'm glad some people like it, and I will never take that away from anybody, and I don't think they could erase it. I'm just hoping that maybe they do what they did with the prequel trilogy and these spin-offs, these shows, and Dave Filoni and his magic can fill in the gaps and maybe make the perception of those movies a little bit better for those that didn't quite feel it. So, we'll see. Imagine the Spider-Ham MCU TV show. That would be interesting and weird. Technically, I know the scene that took place years ago when Toomes was protecting Peter's identity, but in hindsight, Strange's spell could have reached back to the past to make him forget. I mean, maybe, but I mean, that definitely wasn't the plan at the time, and I don't see the relevancy of that because that would just kind of, I feel like putting the spell into it negates the whole character moment that Toomes and Peter shared at the end of the movie. Recently been watching a lot of early late 2000 shows. While some have aged poorly, about 80 to 85% of them, some of them still really hold up. Have I watched Drunk History on Hulu? Funny show. I've seen it. Wasn't it? Yeah, I've seen some of it. I haven't watched like a lot of full episodes, but I've seen a lot of excerpts from Drunk History. Ant-Man 3 going to be a big movie this time because they're introducing Kang. Poor Ant-Man has to go against Kang. Yeah, man, we'll have to see how that goes, how that pans out. So now that I've seen the first season of Stranger Things, got any predictions for how the second season will go? I don't know. Maybe whatever's happening with Will keeps open like a connection with the Upside Down. Maybe some other creatures from that realm come over, because I'm not convinced that the Demogorgon is the one that cocooned him up, let alone put this slug shit inside of him. Or maybe he was just in the Upside Down so long that it's kind of like he's kind of linked to it now. I don't know. Or it's just going to start invading. I don't know. Do you think they could bring in the ventriloquist? That was the comment I saw earlier, and I would love to see that and Scarface brought into it. That would be fun. I think that would fit in pretty well in an interesting, creepy-ass way. After the Batman, what's my top 5 comic book movies? For me, no particular order is Joker, Deadpool, No Way Home, The Batman, Logan, with the Endgame and Infinity War, Dark Knight close behind. So, Batman, Dark Knight, Joker, Endgame, No Way Home. I still have not seen Logan. Yeah, I've still not seen Logan. So it's just not up there yet. Dark Phoenix versus Scarlet Witch. I think you've asked that before. I don't know. I really don't know who would win. Do you say the Arrowverse became the new DCEU? I don't know what you mean by that. A mess? Or completely rebooted? I don't know what you mean by that. I mean, we now know that with Gotham Knights is a brand new Bruce Wayne child, right? Kind of. I really don't know what they're doing with it. I really don't know what direction they're going to go with it. We definitely know it's not in the Arrowverse. I can tell you that. It's on CW, but it's not in the Arrowverse. So it's its own pocket universe, again, separate from everything else. So I don't know. I really don't know what they're going to do with it. I honestly don't care, and I haven't really been keeping up with a lot of things outside of the casting announcements that pop up because it just pops up on my Twitter feed, and I usually just kind of see it scrolling around. I'm finding it very difficult to care about the show from what I've heard about it. But like I said, when it comes out, when we got a trailer for it, I'm definitely going to give it a chance. Now, I did like what we saw of Batwoman when that came out, but it completely turned around on it when I actually saw the show for itself. I'm very interested in watching The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent with Nicolas Cage and Pedro Pascal. It's gotten great reviews out of the SSXW Film Festival. Yeah, I saw the trailers for it. I wish I would have saw it myself, but I saw it at the theater, so I could have reacted to it on the channel, because that was wild seeing that trailer for that movie. It looks really interesting. I do want to see it. I really do want to watch that movie. Listen to an early review of the Halo series. Mostly negative. Kind of sad and weird after all these years the series had made debut dead on arrival. See, I've heard some positive reviews from some people that didn't play the games at all. Like some people I know that have watched it early was like, dude, you're gonna want to watch this show. It's so good. But I don't know. I'm definitely curious about it, and I'm definitely going to give it a chance and give it a go. Spider-Man versus a machine gun. Spider-Man. What kind of question is that? Blinding Lights by The Weeknd was a great song for Miss Marvel trailer, except that they fucking claimed my video. Manually claimed my video. It wasn't even the YouTube automated content ID thing. It was someone at the music company was like, well, this is mine. But I re-uploaded it, cut all the music out of it, and said, fuck you. Matt Reeves' Batman be a green trilogy. Have Matt Reeves' Batman be a green trilogy. I know it sounds stupid, but hear me out. First was Riddler, second Mad Hatter, third be Poison Ivy. Mad Hatter's doesn't really have a green theme to him, does he? I always thought he was like blue and purple. Oh, never mind. Yeah, he is green. Well, sometimes he's blue, sometimes he's green. It looks like more times than not he's green. It's just for whatever reason I only remember him as blue and purple. Because I'm thinking of the DC animated version. That's why. He was blue in that one. Okay, fair enough. You win. That'd be interesting. Oscar also said that he would love to see Moon Knight interact with Hulk, and Mark was seen on the set of Moon Knight. Hulk also has DID. Not really. It's not really the same thing, but Moon Knight did originate as a side character in the Hulk comics, though. That was kind of where he came about. So there has always been this kind of tie between Mark and Bruce. How excited are you for Moon Knight, and what do you expect? I don't really know what to expect. I just hope there's some cool psychological stuff in it, and I'm super excited for it. Ant-Man versus Atom. I would probably say Atom. I think Atom's probably a little more versatile. How many Marvel teams will we get for the MCU? We've got a lot of teams for Phase 5, 6, and beyond, and I hope we get a new Avengers team. What if Deadpool becomes an Avenger? That'd be interesting. That'd be fun. That'd be cool. Cineast casted Hoda Johnson as Madam Web. Thoughts? Yeah, we talked about that last month, I think. I think it's fine. I think she's a great actress. I think she'll kill it. Then we move to a white and black trilogy. First Penguin, then Joker, Harley, Black Mask. Getting some themes going. I like it. I think Kieran Culkin would be perfect for a Mad Hatter because he's an actor that can give off blank vibes without it feeling unwatchable. Moving on. The rumors are that Norman Reedus has been cast as Ghost Rider. Thoughts on that, and who would I cast if I could? I think Norman Reedus is actually a pretty darn good casting, though. But it's mostly just because he's kind of been opening that campaign. I don't think that's an eternal thing. Could be a mix of both. I'd be down for it. I'd like to see Keanu Reeves as a Johnny Storm. I think that would be... Sorry, Johnny Blaze. So I think that would be fun. But I'd be fine with either one, honestly. What possible smaller time enemy do you want to see on Superman Lois? I think Doomsday is too big for the show to tackle, at least until later seasons. Personally, Adversary. I still want to see Mongol. Damn it. Give me Warworld. I don't know if they have the budget for it, but I want Mongol. Mongol or Brainiac. Give me one of the two. They're not really small, though. They're definitely not smaller time. So maybe Toymaker? The real Toymaker, now that the timeline's rebooted? Well, no, because even when we came back, Toymaker's still dead because the new Toymaker was... what's his face in Supergirl. So that would create a continuity error. Fuck it, I don't care. Toymaker. Toymaker 2.0. I don't know. Somehow give me Toymaker. I wish Ahmed Best would get some work in all these Star Wars projects. He went through a lot. Doesn't have to be Jar Jar, just give him another role. I agree with that. I'd love to see that. I agree with you there. Logan is a masterpiece. So a Logan movie reaction? I was thinking about it. I've been thinking about it. I just don't know when I'd get around to doing it. There's a funny movie coming on April 1st on Netflix called The Bubblegum. Cast is Leslie Mann, Keegan-Michael Key, Pedro Pascal, David Duchovny. You have me a David Duchovny. Kate McKinnon, Karen Gillan, and Maria Baklova. Oh, wait. I think we saw a little glimpse of this in that like sizzle reel they put out on the Super Bowl weekend for their 2022 movie lineup. I don't think I got the name of the movie, but I just like David Duchovny. I'll watch it. So yeah, I'll check it out. Who would be my roster for the Thunderbolts? I don't really know the Thunderbolts all that well, like outside of some of the stuff I've read, so I don't really know who all I have to choose from. But I mean, from what we got in the MCU, Zemo, Walker, Abomination. Is there anybody else still alive that they could bring in? I mean, I guess Yelena right now is probably on that team. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure who else I would add. Watched Logan for the first time on a plane. Great movie. Had to dim my screen for a bit of the sake of the other passengers around me. Dang. Nice. And we do a Brown trilogy. Scarecrow, Man-Bat, and end on Clayface. Okay. Interesting. Who do you think will take over for Thunderbolt Ross in the MCU? Rest in peace, William Hurt. It's a good question. I don't know. I really don't know. I'm just kind of, I don't know. Do you think they'll do like a Chadwick Boseman thing for him, and maybe we just don't see his character anymore. Maybe he retires. Maybe somebody else. Maybe we don't recast. Maybe we just get somebody else taking his position in the MCU. I don't know what they'll do with that one. Be interesting to keep an eye on it. I watched the TV series on its own. The first season is okay. Then I hope for season 2, the new showrunner make the best elements season 1 and build off of it. Also, good night. Good night, Adit. What's up, Big Dion? Who wins in a bar fight, Conor McGregor or Anthony Starr / Homelander? Definitely Conor McGregor. Definitely Conor McGregor. What's my predictions for how Multiverse of Madness would end? I think Scarlet Witch would end and get America's powers, killing America and accidentally killing her kids, bringing her to the brink we have never seen. I don't see her killing America. I also don't see her killing her kids, but I do feel like she's going to definitely alter the MCU in a way we've yet to see. I don't know though. It's too bonkers for me to make any predictions, and I'd rather honestly not. It could lead into Scarlet's trilogy with her going on a multiverse field trip and killing everyone in her way. Oh my god. It'd be awful. I'm gonna react to the newly released Moon Knight clips. I don't watch clips. I definitely don't react to clips on the channel. I have in the past. I just don't do it anymore. If it's not a trailer or a teaser, I'm just gonna wait till the shows come out. I want to see a lot of these things for the first time in the show. So if it's literally just a scene pulled up from the show and slapped in, I don't want to watch that. What DC characters do you want a live action adaptation of that hasn't been confirmed yet? Fucking Jon Stewart. Damn it. I've been wanting that forever, dude. And we were going to get it in Snyder's film, but Warner Brothers said no, and then they cut it. And you see the picture that came out? It looks so good, man. I want a Jon Stewart Green Lantern, man. It's too late. Where is it? We've been waiting for so long. Give him. I want. It's so frustrating what they're doing with Green Lantern and everything, man. It's so irritating. Red Hood, Nightwing. Even though Nightwing hasn't been, it's been in development hell, so I don't know if that qualifies or not in this conversation. A Red Hood movie would be fun. Red Hood and the Outlaws would be fun. We have a Zatanna. We have a Constantine coming. Fuck, we have a Wonder Twins coming. Which blows my mind. Who else? Question would be good. Damn. Again, I'll come back to Mongol, I guess. What about the Court of Owls for Reeves Batman? Him tracking down everyone that's involved. Well, Matt Reeves has said he's really interested in exploring the Court of Owls, and Robert Pattinson's mentioned the Court of Owls a lot as something he would like to explore in a sequel. And I felt like they were kind of setting it up in this movie, but they really kind of just went towards the more underground thing. So I don't know. We'll see. So my all-time favorite Batman rogue, Joker. Easy. Rainbow Trilogy. Condiment Man, Rainbow Raider, and Music Meister. Oh my lord. Caleb, you're on a roll. The movie's called The Bubble, and there's a full trailer out for it now. I might have to watch that a little bit later. Keanu Reeves should be Roz or Talon if they do Court of Owls and bring in John Wick's stunt team. Yeah, Keanu Reeves definitely shouldn't be Roz. And Talon, I don't know about Talon either, but we I don't think we ever see Talon without his mask. Can't remember if we do or not. If I had to put Keanu Reeves in the Batman universe, I think I'd like him as Azrael. I think that would be a better fit. Talking about teams, it's hard to tell who's on the Avengers anymore. Even new rock stars are wondering, what do you think? I don't know, man. Especially after Benedict Cumberbatch's statements about, like, he was like, Doctor Strange doesn't consider himself an Avenger. He's not on the team because it was like someone asked him, was like, so is Doctor Strange the leader of the new Avengers? Or is he the new leader of the Avengers? And he's like, he's not an Avenger. He's outside of that world. I don't know. It feels like there is no Avengers anymore. Which would line up with Kevin Feige's recent statements that there's not going to be another Avengers movie. So take that as you will. Maybe Thunderbolt Ross passes away in the MCU and the organization he worked for and names the program after him. That could be a way to wrap it up. It just denies us that beautiful red Hulk with the mustache. But unfortunately, we can't really work around that without recasting, and I would kind of prefer them to just kind of acknowledge it and move on. To be honest, we don't need a red Hulk. It'd be cool, but I don't know. I think we can do something else. Have a thought about doing a watch party for the TV shows. If you have, I probably haven't had your channel long enough. Oh, it's just logistically a nightmare. I don't want to do that. Especially for the channel, both financially and view-wise. And then editing it, it's not viable. Maybe Rhodes takes over Thunderbolt Ross's position and have Val be the person to bring Thunderbolts together, but rather it be Dark Avengers team now. That could work. Does see Crimson Countess in the Boys trailer, played by Laurie Holden from Walking Dead. I did. At first I thought it was Kate Blanchett at first. I was like, no way. I feel like I would have heard if she was in here, but then I looked it up and it was Laurie Holden, and I was like, holy crap, she really looked like Kate Blanchett in that moment to me. I know her. The first time I ever saw her was in X-Files. She was Marita Carter-Rubius in the X-Files. So that was the first time. That's what I know Laurie Holden from. And then second, of course, is, Walking Dead. Is the Batgirl a part of the DCEU? Yes. As far as we know, yes. Because her father is J.K. Simmons Gordon. With Thunderbolt Ross gone, we don't get Red Hulk, but I guess someone else could become Red Hulk. Yep, leads us open for that. A lot of people don't want any JL members in Matt Reeves' Batman. How do you feel? I agree there shouldn't be any Superman, Wonder Woman, or Manhunter, but I think Oliver Queen would fit perfectly. I don't see there's any reason to not have any of these characters in there. I understand. He said he's not opposed to including any of those fantastical characters in his world. They are just not his priority right now. He wants to build out Batman's world, Batman's family, Batman's universe. And if anything else kind of comes in naturally outside of that, maybe it's fine. But he doesn't care. Because his interest is in the Batverse. All of that stuff. He doesn't really care about the outside world. But there's nothing about the world that we have seen that says those characters don't exist. Oliver could fit in the world he wants to show, but he wants to focus on the Bat side of things. That's just what he said. He's not opposed to those characters working in naturally or coming in eventually, but right now it's just not his focus. So it is what it is. I'm not upset. I respect what he wants to do, and I'm excited for what he wants to do. I agree. There's enough mythology in the Batman universe itself to leech on that for a long time. You don't need to build out everything else. I mean, the DCU is continuing in that for now, and I don't know. Give us something different. I'm fine with that. but I don't think it necessarily means that they're not out there in his world either. Doesn't mean they are there, but he hasn't said anything that says otherwise. Batman's side of the park is always way more grounded and realistic anyway. And yet, 500 miles the other direction, aliens are fighting people on a daily basis, but he's just stopping thugs on the street most of the time. And then every now and then maybe there's a Clayface or a Poison Ivy, but most of his villains are just guys that are crazy with stuff that exists in real life. So it's just, I don't know. Batman's always had that juxtaposition, even in the comics. Just because his world is gritty and grounded doesn't mean the next city doesn't have aliens and magic powers and all kinds of stuff. Because that's how it is in the comics. It's exactly how it is in the comics, but I don't know. People get a little out of hand when it comes to certain things. Have I watched Legions? No, I have not. Maybe they bring in Everett Ross and reveal that he's Thunderbolt Ross's younger brother or cousin. They could do that. I would love a Tim Drake-centered series or movies, please. That could be cool. It's kind of like when Arrow, when they have Deadshot, and WB is like, we already have one of those in Suicide Squad, so they kill this one off from Arrow. Yeah, that was so annoying, man. Here's my pitch. Batman is investigating more murders, but it's not like Riddler. Instead, all the murders are precision sniper shots with no evidence. Then the fourth murder Batman investigates notices one key difference. The murder isn't a sniper shot, it's a green arrow. And Bruce and Oliver can learn from each other and don a fake Playboy persona. Not a bad pitch. Have I seen any Korean dramas? Squid Game. That's it. Squid Game. That's it. Squid Game would be the only one. Who would play Scarecrow in the Reeves movies? I think Hugo Weaving could play him. I don't think Hugo Weaving would play him, to be honest. But that would be an interesting casting. I would like... I would want him to be a little bit younger. To be honest. I was going to say Ethan Hawke initially. I don't know. I'm having a hard time thinking of somebody right now. I hate watch parties, but I love reactions. It's way better. Ross becomes Red Hulk. See Martin Freeman with a mustache again. Hell yeah. Nice reference there. I get that one. Batman versus the Steel Man. You mean Steel? Have I read any Moon Knight comments? Not a single one. X-Files is a great show. One of my favorites. It is my favorite show of all time. All the murders could connect to Oliver's List, and the Court of Owls, like Oliver's List, is all the Court Owls members. That could be a good way to bring them together. It'd be interesting. It's definitely going to be sad if we don't get another Avengers movie, but I guess Endgame sort of wrapped them up. I think that's fine. I think it's fine if we just focus on other teams and different stuff. I do like the idea that by the end of the Batman trilogy, Bruce hears reports of other vigilantes around the world inspired by his efforts, like Green Arrow, The Question. Yeah, and it's something similar, too. They did this in the Man of Tomorrow Superman animated film that came out not too long ago, and he was inspired by the vigilantism of the Batman in Gotham, which is what inspired his mom to add a cape to his outfit when she sewed it for him for the first time. So... it's not unheard of for him to be the inspiration for people to finally get out there, but it's interesting. One rogue in DC that I love is Victor Zsasz. He's evil, crazy, and his love for him is a little side villain in the DC or Arrowverse. I actually my favorite live action version of him, sadly, is the one that's least like Zsasz, and that was the one in Gotham. I just thought he was hilarious. But equally, the one in Batwoman is really good. He's more like Zsasz in the comics, and he's also funny. I liked him a lot. But yeah, I'd like a little more of the... I think he would fit in really well just as a side villain. I don't think he has like main villain strength to him at all, but he could definitely be a fun character to pop up in Reeves' universe. What's your team up for the Thunderbolts? I think somebody else, either you or somebody else actually just mentioned this earlier, and I gave my list, so leave it at that. What video game would you make into a live-action movie or show? I'd love to see them do a live-action series with BioShock. Well, we're getting a live-action movie for BioShock over at Netflix, so hopefully they don't mess that up. BioShock would also have been on my list. Halo obviously would have been on there, but we are finally getting that, and we'll find out how that goes this week or next week, technically. God of War. God of War, though, I think has just been announced as a show on Amazon. Last of Us is already made. Resident Evil is being made, though in a very weird and way that I'm not looking forward to over on Netflix because I do not like the synopsis. And again, it's not really an adaptation. It's just kind of just like, we're going to use the name Resident Evil and some of the names from it, but we're just going to do something random. So I'm not really looking forward to it. Metal Gear, but there's been a movie in development hell for a long time. Final Fantasy, but there's like no way in hell they would make it in a way that would make anybody happy. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like all the ones that I've named or would name are getting something coming up soon. So I don't know. I'm fresh out of ideas at the moment. Star Fox. No. Live action. Never mind. No. I take it back. Zelda. Give me Zelda. There we go. Legend of Zelda. Lee Pace for Scarecrow. Sounds familiar. Ah. I can see it. Recognize the name. I don't so much recognize the face. The Bruce Campbell as Titans. Lex Luthor rumor floating about. It's interesting. Superboy actor said it's crap. Could have been really good or really bad. Yeah, I would not like to Bruce Campbell as Lex Luthor. I'll be honest. I don't think that's a good choice. But you never know. Could surprise us. I kind of want Scarecrow to be reimagined as a religious serial killer. He uses the symbolism of Scarecrow to strike fear and of God in his victims. I don't know if I would like that, but it sounds interesting. It could make a good movie. Definitely a different take. Pretty sure his family was extremely religious, and that's one of the reasons he kind of rebounded in such a weird way. I can't remember exactly. I mean, he's had a couple different origins, but still. Favorite rogues are Scarecrow, Riddler, Two-Face, obviously Joker. Have I seen the numbers and the gross the Batman has had done so far? I have. It's doing pretty well. It's not doing like gangbusters, but it's doing pretty well. Stargirl Season 3 has finished production. What are your expectations? I don't really have expectations. I'm just looking forward to it. Just continue the story. That's my expectation. Luke Evans as Scarecrow. I don't know. I think he's too clean. Chaddish. I don't know. I don't know how to describe what I'm trying to say. Cillian Murphy was a good fit, I think, but right level of handsome but snidish. But even like Cillian Murphy, I think it was a little too proper. In my head, at least. Ooh. Wait. Nah, I don't know. I was like Adam Driver. Evan Peters. I don't know. I don't know. Good night, everyone. See you later, Omni, and everybody in the chat. Have a good night, Tharuka. Thank you for stopping in. What's up, Jordan? I do think that's a little funny. Batman inspiring Superman since Superman came first in the comics. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. Obscure characters for the Suicide Squad 3. The Face, Batmite, Bjork, Beast Boy, Starfire, Naimos, Gizmo, Jinx, Billy Numerous, and Seymour for the... Why are Beast Boy and Starfire on the Suicide Squad? I mean, after Peacemaker, I'm pretty sure there's no more... There's not, at least not in the DCEU, going to be a Suicide Squad anymore. Because they, disbanded it. Have I seen Teen Titans? Oh, yeah. I've definitely seen it. I got it all on DVD, actually. Love it. I wish they would bring it back and close it out properly. Mossy Minnows. Mossy Minnows, they're heroes too, aren't they? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they're also heroes, so I don't know why they'd be on the Suicide Squad. Imagine if they made a Batman game similar to Detroit Become Human instead of the mediocre Telltale ones. I mean, that would be really cool. I still haven't played Detroit. I've watched some people play it. I have it, but I've still yet to ever play it. But I like games like that. I'd be down for it. I started the Telltale Batman game. I like Telltale games. I still haven't finished season 1 of the Batman, though. But man, that shade towards Telltale, man. It's a small company. Is it necessary to watch The Diabolical before The Boys Season 3? Not at all. Not at all. Nah, you don't have to worry about it. Most of it, it's canon, but it's not going to impact anything. There's nothing in there you need to know for anything. Most of it's just its own random side stories. 90% of it has nothing to do with any of the characters we're familiar with. You'll be fine. It's definitely not required watching. Evan Peters, if he was bald as Lex Luthor. I don't know if I could see that. I don't know. I love Evan Peters. Maybe. Maybe. Yeah, see? Luke Evans. Too much of a pretty boy for Scarecrow. Yeah, I want somebody a little more snidish. The Rock is Batman. No thank you. Lee Pace was the Kree guy who appeared in Guardians 1 and was in the show Pushing Daisies. Yeah, I don't recall. Still don't recall. What's up, Cody? How's everyone today? I'm doing good. Hope you are doing well. Scott Edwards, thank you for that super chat. I will post it on the screen once it loads on here. Oh, we got another one. Holy crap. The delay between this and the actual chat is kind of frustrating sometimes. So I gotta wait for it to just kind of load up over here. Gosh, come on, hurry up. What if I just refresh it? Nope. All right. Here we go. Scott Edwards, thank you for the super chat, man. What's my favorite hero friendship developed in Crisis on Infinite Earths that I want to see more of? 2 in particular. I want to see more, even though we saw some of it in Armageddon. Jefferson and Barry. I want more Jefferson and Barry. Give me more Black Lightning in the Arrowverse. I know show's done, but bring him back. I love him, man. Love Jefferson Pierce. Second, which we can't have now, is Kate Kane and Supergirl. We got that promise of it, and then all the bullshit happened. At least we could have had... shoot, why can't I think of her name right now? The person they recast as Kate Kane could have continued that storyline. There's so much promised in Crisis that just went to complete shit once all the shows came back, and that was one of them. So annoyed with how that all played out. I like Javicia, I like it, but I wanted to know where that was going to go, and there was a lot of promise there, and I feel like that just got all chucked out for some stuff that's been more structurally sound, mostly because I'm sure behind the scenes things have been way smoother, but narratively less interesting. Though I've really liked the whole Marcus and Ryan thing for this season. I thought that was a lot of fun. But yeah, those were the big two there, I think, for me. Thank you, Robbie Roxas, for the $10 super chat. Would love to see Samurai Jack live, but then also be scared as heck for it. Same. That would be really difficult to do considering Aku and the types of people and creatures that he faces. A lot of CGI. It'd be very CGI heavy. A lot of grounded action to it, though. It could work, but I feel like, and I would be so worried it would come out feeling like a Netflix kind of film. You know, like an RIPD kind of thing. That wouldn't be too great. But as much as I love it, and it can be done, but the likeliness that it would have the budget, the writing talent, and the direction needed to make it land, it's more than likely it would be a miss, I think. And I don't want Jack to have that taint. And another super chat from Scott. What about Barry and Sarah? I liked it. I liked it. It was fine. Some good moments there. They are really the only two OGs left in the series anymore, in the universe anymore. So I'd like to see more of that. So I'll join you with that one. Do you think we'll ever get a live action Static Shock? It's already been confirmed. It's coming to HBO Max. It's already confirmed. It's already in production. It's coming. It was announced last year. Yeah, we were 100% getting a Static Shock movie. I'm super excited for it because I've been saying we need a Static Shock movie for a long time. We need Static Shock just back in general. Love Static. Like, imagine his costume he made up his father's monk robes and a typical scarecrow mask. And he carries a sickle with a cross-shaped knife, quotes scripture, biblical figures hallucinating. Could be interesting. Just rewatched Supergirl season 6 finale. Do you think Lex Luthor will find a way to get out of the Phantom Zone? Would you think would be on Superman and Lois or the Flash? What's my thoughts? I think they'll bring Lex in eventually, and I think it'll be on Superman and Lois. And I do think he'll eventually find a way out of the Phantom Zone, one way or the other, because the cast, John Cryer and the showrunners for Superman and Lois have all kind of expressed interest in working with his Lex Luthor. So, have I played the Telltale Guardians game? Thought it was good. I have not. Definitely have not. Love Telltale. It's just choices don't impact the story as much as I would like. That's fair. That's fair. Would you like if they brought in Paradox in The Flash? I don't. That name does not ring a bell to me. Oh, this is a newer character. I'll have to look him up. I'm not familiar with that character. A little too new for me to kind of be up with. Will I be posting reactions to Stranger Things 2? How to tell me you didn't watch my entire videos without telling me you didn't watch my entire videos. Yes. The whole point of me doing Stranger Things 2 at a time on Fridays is so that we will be caught up with all of the seasons to watch season 4 when it comes out in a few months. So yes, I will be watching season 2, and you'll be seeing my reactions to the first 2 episodes next Friday, or this coming Friday. Freddie Highmore as Scarecrow. He does a good creepy Norman Bates. Yes. Yes. Is that his name? I've actually never known his name. And I've seen that entire show. Yes. I wanted to watch The Good Doctor because he was in it, but I just could not. I could not see anything other than Norman. Damn, man. Yes, I would like to see that a lot, actually. If you haven't seen Bates Motel, really good show. Samurai Jack would be a fun live-action series. If they had the budget for it, for sure. Love a Spider-Man noir live-action with Nick Cage. I'd be down for that. That'd be neat. FYI, Omni, the last episode of The Boys Diabolical is required viewing for The Boys Season 3. I'm not going to spoil anything, but it has to deal with the future of Homelander and Black Noir's relationship. I don't think so. I mean, I don't think it's necessary. Because we kind of get that implied throughout Seasons 1 through 2 already. I mean, it's a nice little nugget. It's a little informative, but it's far from required viewing, in my opinion. Agree with you on the Batwoman Season 1. The last season was great. Thanks, John. I appreciate that. I like when somebody sees eye to eye me a little bit with the whole thing. But yeah, I don't know. There was a lot of promise at the end of Season 1. I was really excited to see where things were going to go between Kate, her father, Beth, all of that, her new relationship with Kara, her being a paragon, the whole stuff with Bruce, with Thomas Elliott coming in, pretending to be Bruce. It was just a lot of stuff they had set up. Everything in the story was just so connected to Kate that it was a jumbled mess all through Season 2 to deviate everything away from Kate, when they could have just as easily continued with the recast. Anyway. Let's see. Gotta go. See you next week. Before I go, if you had to put 2 Avengers in the Justice League and vice versa, who would you pick and who would win the Switch? That's too complicated for me to do right now. That'd take me too long to figure that out. I apologize, man. Rami Malek, Sean Harris, or Harry Melling as Rami Malek, maybe. Sean Harris. Maybe a little too old for to play him in this world. Ooh. Yes, give me Harry Melling. Fucking Dudley. Yes. He would be a great Scarecrow. And to kind of go up to what Caleb has been saying, he kind of has that weird, creepy preacher vibe, too. Because he played one in Devil All the Time. And he was the villain in fuck, what's that movie? The Old Guard. Yeah, man, I'd be down for that. Does the next graphic novel start next episode? I think so, based on what somebody said that Eric Wallace had mentioned. It's either the next episode or the one after it. I have to imagine it's got to be the next episode. I don't have HBO Max, so I tend to pass by news about what's appearing on it, so that's fantastic to hear they have Static planned. Yeah, they announced it at DC Fandom last year. Actually, I think it was just a few months ago. Yeah, it's definitely coming. We got a Static film coming our way. Because I think they announced at the same time they announced the whole Blue Beetle thing. I think the Michael B. Jordan Static Shock is animated, not live action. I could be wrong. Yeah, no, it's live action. It's a live action movie. They were talking about. They've clarified that as much. I didn't think Michael B. Jordan's involved at all because he's working on that Superman thing. Okay, you're right about that. He's producing it. But yeah, it is live action, and it is a movie, and it is coming to HBO Max. Which is part of the whole controversy that came about after it was announced. People were upset, me too, being one of them, that it was going to be an HBO Max only film for that character. I think that's a little bit of a disservice to him and his fans to not give him the film treatment. At least do a dual release or something. I don't know. I'm back. Watched the first half of the Batman, but unfortunately I had to leave early. To be honest, I couldn't understand, and I wasn't so interested in it. It's because I don't follow DC, maybe. I mean, you shouldn't need to follow DC to keep up with it. I don't think so. Like, I feel like you can go into it completely absent-minded of the DC universe to keep up with it, unless you just don't know Batman's origins. I don't know. It's not for everybody. I definitely know that and get that, but I love it, man. It had me hooked from the first scene. First scene, I was in. Would you like a live-action version of Superboy's show? No. Not particularly. I'd watch it if they made it, but I wouldn't ask for it. I usually don't watch the reviews at the end of a reaction, but yours are actually interesting. Yeah, I know. Most people tune out. Most people skip the intro, the whole bit, everything in the beginning, just watch the reaction, skip the whole discussion, thoughts, theorizing, and then comment about something that I address and talk about at length because they only watch the reaction. And I was like, oh, what does this mean? And they're like, well, actually. And then I explain myself later and they completely ignore it and they don't talk about it. They don't watch the rest of the video. It's like, dude, how many times am I like, I addressed this? I said this. I did that. That is exactly what I said. You just didn't stick around to find out. In the moment, you can't piece things together, man. You gotta let it marinate. Everybody else is leaving these comments and stuff has had time to boil on it, to simmer on it, to think about things. And then they're like, oh, dude, actually. Motherfucker, I'll beat your ass. Sorry. Do you think they will ever have something along the lines for the man who has everything? A John arc for Superman and Lois? Maybe. Maybe. And Diabolical did tell us Black Noir's job is to watch Homelander if you do know. Yeah, and if they go that route, they'll explain it in season 3. It doesn't mean you have to watch Diabolical, is what I'm saying. That doesn't. I don't think Diabolical really tells us much of anything. Because I know who he is in the comics. I know that much as myself because I spoiled myself on it reading about some of these characters. So I don't know. I have to imagine they're going to go into season 3 assuming most people have not watched Diabolical. Did you read the news clippings at the end of season 1 Stranger Things? It gives you some details and better idea of the time frame and how long Will was in the Upside Down. No, I didn't take the time to actually go through and check those headlines at the end. So no. If you would like to clarify that on one of the reactions in a comment, I would really appreciate it. I would like an Arrowverse show based on Jordan Kent, or a show about Green Lantern, which features Jon Stewart and Hal Jordan as well as others. As long as Jon Stewart is John Diggle, then yes. I think Brock Lesnar should play Bane. His WWE character is literally modeled after Bane. I would rather have Dave Bautista. One, he's just a better actor. What's Brock Lesnar look like now? Yeah, he could definitely do it. I don't think... Has he ever acted before? No. Yeah, no, he has not. I don't know if that'd be a great way to go. Dave Bautista is a great actor and has a similar build and has expressed an intense interest in playing Bane. So I'd like to see that happen. It's just he even talked about on a podcast how he approached WB asking if they had any considerations for Bane, that they would talk to him and like consider him the role or whatever. And they said, we have no interest in doing anything with the character of Bane at this time, which is kind of shitty. Yeah. Brock Lesnar could be good. It's just I don't know if I want to take the risk on his acting ability for Bane when Dave Bautista's out there. I'd love a spinoff for Jordan Kent. I mean, we might get a Brothers spinoff. Oh no. Static wasn't animated just because it was an HBO movie. Oh no, Batgirl was originally going to be an HBO Max only film as well. Blue Beetle, same. Actually, I think Batgirl still is. I think Blue Beetle is getting a theatrical run now. But Blue Beetle, Batgirl, Static, all live action for HBO. Mark Strong, Bryan Cranston, Giancarlo Esposito as Freeze. I saw somebody mention this before, Bryan Cranston as Freeze. I would love that. And Giancarlo Esposito also would be a great Mr. Freeze. I could get behind both of those for sure. What's up, Mia? Hey, Omni just popped in to say hello. Well, hello back to you. Currently watching a reaction to Stranger Things. Can't wait for season 2. Also, Moon Knight and Obi-Wan Kenobi. Greetings from Finland. Well, shout out to Finland. Hope you're having a good, cozy, warm... It's quite late for you. Thank you for stopping in. I really appreciate that. I'm really looking forward to season 2 of Stranger Things. It's been quite the surprise, and I'm super hyped for Moon Knight, and Obi-Wan is probably my most anticipated show for the whole year. So I'm looking forward to it. I hope it does not disappoint. I would love to see a Hush live action, just to see Pattinson flex his acting. Yes. They tied in some elements of Hush into this movie, into the Batman. As more of a nod, because I don't think that what they did with the story sets up any of that at all, because it has some deviations. Obviously, they could, of course, switch that around and make some changes to the lore, but we could very well see a Hush play out in Batman eventually. No, the origin of Batman, I'm still not so into it. Anyway, I'm sure it's great, but not for me. Let's just give it another chance. Give it another chance. Batman season 1, 2, we have fake Bruce Wayne who was Hush, but we have real Bruce Wayne, but we was Luke's dream, and then we have a real Bruce back in Gotham 4th season of Batman. We ever going to have a real Bruce back in Gotham in 4th season of Batwoman? Probably not. I don't think we'll have the real Bruce Wayne until the show's finale, and I think that's I think that'll be the only time we see Kate again too, is when the show ends. When I said Arrowverse, Green Lantern, Jordan Kent, I meant CW for obvious reasons. Right. Did I contradict that? Be honest, is the Disney app worth subscribing to? Um, I mean, if you're a fan of the MCU and Star Wars, yeah, I would say so, especially since we've got rolling content. There's always something new coming out. Um, I think this is the longest gap in content we've had since The Mandalorian Season 1. And it's been like, what, 3 weeks since the last show aired? I think it's worth it. It's not expensive compared to, especially not compared to Netflix right now. Netflix is, what, $20 now? It's rough. You think it's, who do you think is a better actor, Dave Bautista or John Cena? Overall, I would say Dave Bautista at this point. But I think John Cena took a huge leap forward in Peacemaker. For sure. Cena's got a lot of growing to do, and same with Batista. But Batista, I think, is in the, like, if there was like tiers, I think John Cena moved up to a B tier, while Dave has worked from C up to an A to me over the years. So I don't know. I'd like to see. I wish we will see Kate Kane again on 4th season of Batwoman. Do you think the next crossover? Do you think we have Iris and Ryan Wilder being friends just like in Armageddon? I hope so. I just want to see more overlap between the shows. I want this universe to feel like a universe, man. I'm so tired of the disconnection, especially after everything the Crisis set up. I know the pandemic was part of it, but a lot of those restrictions have alleviated from now. Connect this universe together again. Armageddon was like our first step back into doing that. Hell, there's more connectivity in Black Lightning Season 4. The final season. Like, they at least mentioned they got help from the Flash and Star Labs in the final season. Nobody showed up on the show, but they at least acknowledged they existed. Stranger Things is great. I binged all the seasons in a week. It was amazing. I loved it. And are so excited for your season 2 and 3 reactions. I'm glad everybody's really enjoying it. I know it's like I'm really late to all of it. Like, I don't know what the hype for it is now, and surprisingly, they've been doing pretty good as far as people tuning in to view, so I really appreciate you guys, like, tuning in, supporting it, giving it that go. I wasn't sure how it would go. I was kind of expecting it to maybe go about like my Bly reactions had. I'm promised to do Bly. I wanted to do Bly, but it's not really the most financially stable choice I've made, but when I make a commitment, I try to make that commitment and keep that one. And once we finish Bly, we will watch Midnight Mass. So we will be caught up with all that. So once that's done, we'll move right into that. So I know our pacing with that is a little slower since we're only doing one a week, but I gotta stay sane for something. Excited for your reactions. Awesome. Thank you, Cody. This has been night, so it's good night from me. Till next time. Good night, Mia. Thank you for tuning in, and I appreciate your kind words. You think they'll kill off Kramer because of her powers or somehow take them away? I don't think they'll kill her off, but I don't know. I think they'll teach her how to use her powers more than anything, but I don't know. It's curious. They're taking a bold transition with Kramer, and I'm not sure where it's going to go or honestly how I feel about it yet. I like her. I like her chemistry with everybody, and especially now that she's a likable person. I could definitely see Robert Pattinson playing a great Scarecrow. That is true. If he wasn't Batman, I think he could be a really good Scarecrow. Barry Keoghan could also be a really good Scarecrow. When Barry went to the future, we saw Iris and Ryan Wilder's friends. Do you think we could get a Two-Face in the 4th season of Batwoman, just like she mentioned him in Armageddon? I think it's very possible. And I mean, we got OG Poison Ivy this season. I think it's very likely we know some of these people are still around and still alive, so they very well can still come back and be active. I think that'd be great. I'd be down. How's my hype for Miss Marvel on a scale of 1 to 10? I'd say it's about a 7. I'd say about a 7. Dave Bautista was great in Blade Runner 2049, even though it was a brief appearance. I've never seen Blade Runner, so I never watched Blade Runner 2049 either. So yeah. Saving that. I'm keeping that in my pocket for a while. Now, I have seen the final monologue in it, the infamous monologue, I think, from the villain, I think is the villain, because they showed it off in my film appreciation class in college, so I guess spoilers for me, if I ever did watch it, but aside from that, I don't really know a lot of the plot of the movie. It'd be funny to see Robert as DCEU Scarecrow, but I doubt we'll ever get another Batman villain in the DCEU. Not with Batman as the protagonist. I mean, from what they're setting up, Bruce Wayne is going to transition into a mentorship role, and Batgirl will be the main Bat figure carrying the mantle forward. So yeah. In Victoria, Australia, it's 9:30 in the morning, or 9:03 in the morning, and for a second, it was confused. People were saying goodnight. Yeah, we got people from all over the world in here. That's why it's, I try to make it, like, I don't really know what the most optimal time to, like, do this is. This is the best time for me to start at, like, 4, because it's 4 in the afternoon for me, 4 p.m. When I start. It's currently 6:06 p.m. for me. But I usually start at 4 because that's evening time for our UK folk or European folk to kind of come in and say some stuff for a little while. I think early enough for people, you know, in your neck of the woods to be waking up, you know, people near me and in the States to be kind of doing their thing in the afternoon. It's the weekend. I don't know if there's a better time, but I think it's probably works out to get the best range. I'm glad you're in. Hope you'll see Tornado Twins somehow in an alternate future. Maybe one day. Like the actual Tornado Twins, it's possible. I feel like they're just definitely not going to touch upon that in the show. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm really excited to see. We only got a couple, 2-3 weeks before the first issue of the crossover comic comes out. Really excited to see what they do with that. Also, speaking of, 2 weeks. Be my birthday. I'll have a little birthday stream just to hang out, chill, and do whatever. A lot of people didn't like the Miss Marvel trailer. See, the only like I said, I think the only complaint I saw was just people didn't like the. I saw some people complain about the tone and that it was too kiddish, and for that reason, I don't know what the hell they expected. And 2 was just the powers. That was the biggest thing, was the powers. It was the scariest movie that I saw as a kid. I think the scariest movie that terrified me the most as a kid was let's see. I watched a lot of horror movies when I was a kid. Well, when I was like 10 and older, I was watching a lot of horror movies. But earlier than that, probably the scariest thing I had seen was probably It. Netflix is $9.99 now, but I unsubscribed until Stranger Things or You, the next season, comes out. On my plan, it's like $20. And it sucks. But I still use it, and I'm using it now for 2 shows, so I'm kind of stuck with it for now, for the time being. Which episode do I like more? Daddy Likes Metal or Lockdown? Probably Daddy Likes Metal. Daddy Likes the Metal. I probably liked it overall more, but yeah. Oh, yeah, they did change. And now, again, I'm waiting on Streamlabs to catch up. Here we go. Another Star Wars question. When Ahsoka drops, is there a top 2 scenes I'm hoping for, like Luke and Ahsoka meet for the first time, or live-action Ahsoka versus Vader, Rex return, etc.? Top 2 things I'm looking forward to out of that is, yes, I would like to see Luke and Ahsoka meet for the first time. The other thing that I want to really see in the show, or would really like to see in the show, is just Ahsoka her reunion with either Anakin's Force Ghost or just Rex. I mean, of course, finding Ezra, having Sabine in there, but I think those are givens. But yeah, those are my two, I think the two biggest things I'm looking forward to, or hoping for. Did times change there? Forward an hour. You usually start at 9 p.m. for me, but it was 8 p.m. today. Yes, that is something I forgot. On the 13th, we sprung forward, so our clocks moved up. I really wish we didn't do that, but it is what it is. So yes, you're correct. There was a little bit of a change. This is like, for me, I didn't even realize it had happened, to be honest, because my phone automatically updates the clock, my computer automatically updates the clock. So honestly, I completely forgot anything changed and was unawares. Completely forgot our clocks changed, to be 100% real with you. In the MCU, who would I cast Robert Pattinson as? And you guys got to remember, I know you got to remember, I don't know the MCU. I don't know the Marvel Universe like I know DC. I don't know. Yeah, I cannot think of who I would pick him. I would cast him as if I had a chance. Apologize for that. You seen It when you were a kid. I couldn't even watch Deadpool. Oh yeah. The original It. It the miniseries with Tim Curry. Yeah, I saw that when I think I was like 8 or 9. Secret of NIMH creeped me out like hell too. For some reason, I just can't let this Ralph Boner thing go. It's hard to believe they would just waste Evan Peters like that. It has to be something bigger. I believe the showrunner when they just did it as a dumb joke, not thinking anything of it. And I'm hoping that they retroactively make it something bigger and better, because I 100% agree with you, and that's the only thing that I still do not like about WandaVision. What do you think of Tom Holland as one of the Robins? I would really like to see Tom Holland as a Robin. I think he would be a great pick for one of them. Heard about Earth Prime 6 issue. I was actually literally just talking about it. Literally just talking about it. But yeah. Yeah, first issue comes out on the 5th. I think the first 2 issues come out on the 5th. I'm going to read it. I don't know if I'm going to review it. Who knows? Maybe we will. Maybe we'll do something like that. Maybe we'll do something like that. I don't know. It'd be neat. Because I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye out to see if the shows dance around this shit or not. Or if they actually acknowledge it. The show writers are writing this comic. So, for fuck's sake, acknowledge your continuity. Please. What were people expecting with the tone of Miss Marvel? To be like Batman? Actually happy that Marvel Studios is widening their target audience. I don't know. Maybe they expected it to be more or less like what we've seen in the movies. Like to be more for everybody of all ages. I feel like the tone should match the lead, the character we're focused on. Like Homecoming, I felt like had a little bit of a lighter tone, but it still had that vibe, I think, for everybody. It was a little John Hughesy, but not like full there like this film. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know, man. I'll be honest. I don't know. I feel sorry for the Toucher Barry went through with having to list the torture Barry had to go with having to list a Goldface talking to Amunet Black. It was hilarious though, and you could see Barry just like cracking a laugh hearing him like gush over his girlfriend. It's hilarious. Oscar Isaac would make a great Scarecrow too. I could get behind that. Witches creeped me out, but it was mainly for the story of the girl in the painting. I don't think I ever saw Witches. Oh, I thought Roger Rabbit was creepy because I thought the villain was terrifying. Texas Chainsaw Massacre was the first scary movie I saw as a kid. I think it was probably the first scary movie I saw as a kid. Jaws. I watched Jaws a lot when I was a kid. The entire franchise, really, all 4 movies. I was a big fan of the Jaws series. Funny enough, I was never scared of the movies. I was never afraid of the movies, but I'm terrified of the ocean. Like, if I go to the ocean, nope. But I'm not afraid of those movies, surprisingly enough. At least I don't recall ever actually being scared of them. Because I had a shark fascination when I was a kid. That and dinosaurs. Those were the 2 big too. I don't know. I remember there's some moments in The Masks that creeped me out. Moments in Secret of Nim that really gave me the jeebies. Heck, Fievel Goes West. Or no, Fievel... American Tail. The first one. Sorry. Had some creepy moments in it. There's a lot of movies that had some scary moments in it, but I wouldn't say that were scarier than the scary movies I had seen. Like, there were some, like, children's movies that had more frightening moments in it than I thought some of the scary movies that I had seen it had. Be honest. I know the big next, other than Jaws, the next big horror franchise I got into was Halloween. That was one of the first that I got into. I think I was like 11 when I saw that, and it scared the shit out of me, but I loved it. Maybe because we're both named Michael. But I got into it really hard though. The one thing The Flash gets right all the time is the fun episodes. I agree with that one. I agree wholeheartedly with that. Pete Wisdom is a Marvel character Pattinson would suit, tied to the X-Men through a mutant team called Excalibur. I have to look into them. This Marvel trailer gave me Stargirl vibes. Kind of. Definitely a little more younger skewing than I'd say even Stargirl. Like with the whole like aesthetic. But yeah, I definitely got Stargirl vibes. From it. Yeah, I can see that. CW Arrowverse shows crossover 6 issues to be connected with the other shows instead of Stargirl. She is different Earth. Would you think she is going to be in Earth Prime somehow? I don't know. I don't know if this will permanently connect their universe to ours, to Earth Prime. But she is making her Earth Prime debut in this comic crossover. So I don't know if maybe the results of this will come back in season 3 of Stargirl and they'll magically be on Earth Prime. I don't know. I don't know what that's going to... I don't know. That's the thing I want to keep an eye out for because, I don't know. I feel like for Stargirl's first crossover with the other shows to be in a comic format is a little lame. But I'm excited to see how they do it either way. We'll see. Miss Marvel, her powers didn't like as much as I seen, but it definitely looks interesting to watch, though. Miss Marvel reminded me of Love Victor. I loved Love Victor, so I'm good with that. I've not seen that. How the Grinch Stole Christmas traumatized me. Which one? Like the OG animated one, or the new animated one, or the live-action Jim Carrey one? Give Me My Money Guy is in the next few weeks. Next week's episode of The Flash. Give me my money. That's not ringing a bell for me right now. I am just excited to see Oscar Isaac talk to himself and his dynamic with Khonshu, and that's going to be interesting. His interaction with the MCU characters is going to be fascinating. From what I've heard so far, this show has 0 connections. I mean, it's in the universe. Like, there's no doubt that it's in the MCU, but there's no references, Easter eggs, anything that leads to the greater Marvel universe. From what they've said, this is the one that's kind of its own pocket reality. Not reality, but it's definitely its own. It's standalone more so than anything they've done so far. So I'm curious to see how much that holds true. My favorite comedy movie was Home Alone, the very first one. It was a good one. I like Home Alone. First discovered your channel through a compilation Fans React YouTube video, and introduced me to a bunch of reactors, had links to individual pages. Thus, I found Omni. That's also because some people brought to my attention that I had popped up on a couple of those, and I know a lot of people have shared a similar sentiment as you. They've come over here from those fan collections, and from myself, I've also found a lot of other reactors that I watch regularly that I found through those very same. So I do gotta give a lot of kudos to that, like Johnny Odell and Mixed Reactions and the bunch. I know they're not the only ones, but they're the first ones that definitely come to mind for me. Bob from Twin Peaks terrified me as a kid. I've never seen Twin Peaks. I was too young to watch. My brothers made me leave the room one night. I got scared. I swear I saw someone looking through our window at me. Hey man, I've seen some creepy shit as a kid, so I can definitely feel that. What do you think are the best DC TV seasons? Don't rank them, just talk about it. Flash season 1, I think, is one of my favorites still to this day. Arrow season 1, season 2, great storytelling, character development, great villains. Arrow season 8, great way to round out the season. Hell, Arrow season 6, it's really good. Sorry. So 5 or 6 that had Prometheus. Whichever one had Prometheus was really good. I honestly, I can recommend episodes of Supergirl, but there's not a season of Supergirl that I would rank higher than pretty much any other show. I think all 6 seasons of Supergirl I would put at the very bottom of my tier list if I made one, compared to anything else I've seen. And that's including Arrow season 4. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's where I'm at right now. Obviously, Superman and Lois season 1 is definitely really high up there, but I think I have a lot of sentimental value towards the Arrow and Flash, because those are the ones that kind of kicked this whole thing off. So I've got a lot of built-in investment there. Superman and Lois just kind of started. But I would even say, like, despite that, even though those are probably my favorite seasons so far in general, like Arrow 1, 2, Flash 1, Superman and Lois is probably easily objectively the best, hands down. Stargirl season 1 was fantastic. Swamp Thing season 1 was phenomenal. Doom Patrol, all 3 seasons have been great. Constantine, I still need to finish. Like, Constantine's standalone show, I still need to finish. Yeah, lots of good shows, man. Lots of good stuff. Of course, I say it was my imagination. I'm not so sure. Dude, I've seen some stuff that was 100% not my imagination, so don't worry. Something's going on out there. Live action Grinch gave me nightmares for 2 years. Respect. What do you make of Christopher Lloyd joining the cast of Season 3 of The Mandalorian? Back to the Future jokes and memes already making the rounds. I've seen those. I've seen those memes. Down for that. I'm excited. That's awesome. Love Christopher Lloyd, man. Did you hear that Michael Giacchino is directing Werewolf by Night? I have. I did hear that he's actually going to be directing a film, which is very interesting to find out. Give Me My Money Guy was in the Run, Iris Run episode. I don't remember. Flash, give me my money. I don't know if that's gonna work. Oh, okay. Wait, no? Yes? Okay. Okay, I know who you're talking about now. I know who you're talking about now. No spoilers for CW. Naomi is the best show and is different from the other shows we have. Like I said before, I'll try to. I might watch it later, but I hated the first episode. Like, I did not enjoy it. The cinematography, the script, the acting, the effects. I didn't think anybody was likable. But people have said it got better. I've heard people say it's got a lot of interesting ideas, but it's really boring. I don't know, man. I just, after that first episode, I was so negative about it, I never posted it. I recorded a reaction to it. I have it on my hard drive. I never edited it. I never put it up. Because, I was like, okay, if I'm not sure I'm going to like it, I'm not going to go out of there and make it a weekly thing. Because I don't have time. If I'm going to be doing something I'm not 100% into at the moment. And I just told myself I'll wait till it's all out and I'll just watch the season all in one sitting or something like that. I definitely don't think it's going to be worth, at least for the channel. I don't see it being good for the channel for me to react to it, so I don't know. But I personally, regardless of anybody's opinion or anything else, when I watched the first episode going into it completely blind, I was at a loss for words, and my head, the cinematography, it's the first time I can feel like the cinematography of a show gave me a physical headache. Like, oh, I'm glad you like it, man. I really do. And like I said, I only have the first episode to go off of and what I've heard. So if you enjoy it, man, I really appreciate it. I'm really glad you do. Who knows? Maybe I'll turn around. Maybe after the first episode, it does get better. Maybe I will enjoy it. But it's something I'm definitely gonna I might put off for a little while. Wait till the season's finished before I dive into it. Give me my money, guy, aka the Hotness. Yes, that was his name. Found you from searching Gotham Season 6 finale trailer reaction. Yeah, I did do that, didn't I? Man, that finale was so disappointing. I was so excited for it. What's up, some guy who shouldn't have internet privileges? How's everybody doing? I'm doing good. Hope you're doing well. Man, give me my money, guy. Who would I cast as Hugo Strange? Hold on. I want to make sure I got the name right. Yeah. Benedict Wong. Or, shit. I am ashamed I don't remember this guy's name. Benedict Wong or BD Wong. I would love to play those characters. Or that character. What old school fable or folktale do you think would be a great horror movie? I'd love to see A24 make a movie about the Pied Piper as a bad guy that starts sympathetically. Ooh, that'd be interesting. Maybe Sleeping Beauty? Sleeping Beauty or Snow White? Even season 3 of Supergirl, that was their best season. Yeah. I'd say that. Season 2 was when I rage quit. Was when I rage quit, and I didn't finally come back until like years later. Season 3 was decent enough. Season 4 was even okay. Season 5 was the worst TV I've ever seen. I didn't like anything that was going on in season 9 or season 5. Season 6 wasn't perfect, but I enjoyed it at least. Saw Scream movie last week in the movies. Saw your review. I like the movie a lot. I like it. It's just as far as it doesn't rank very high on my Scream films list, but glad you enjoyed it. Have you ever thought about reaching out to another YouTube creator and doing a collab, or is there a content creator you'd at least like to collab with? Yeah, I mean, I've done some stuff with other people. We've done some trivia battles with a bunch of other reactors, one of which included Blind Wave, The Normies, Akasan, Married to the Real. Like, we all kind of had like a DC and Marvel trivia off. It's on the channel. I have it posted up as a video as well. It was one big ass stream. We did that a couple of times, but for the big one, the last one we did, we had a lot of the bigger creators on there. I've joined Akasan once for a on his channel for a podcast discussion on Flash season 7. Me and Matthew Haynes and Busy have done stuff together. I'm definitely open to it. It's just I'm so busy. I know they're busy. It's a lot of the times that I've also been on an episode. I've been in one of the Real Rejects videos. We had a podcast episode together on their channel talking about pitching a Joker-like remake or a Joker-like film centered around another Bat villain. Or I don't think it was specific to a Batman villain, but to give a villain a Joker style film dedicated to them. We did a podcast episode on the Real Rejects together. I think that was like 2-3 years ago though at this point. But yeah, I'd love to hit them up again. It's just everybody's so busy these days, man. It's really hard, and I even as much as I would love to do it, I really don't want to bother anybody. Most of the stuff that I've been involved in, I was approached by them, so I was asked to be brought into some of these things. I don't know, maybe I'm just too like, I don't want to be a bother or guilt them into collabing with me. So most of the times I pop up somewhere else is because they've reached out to me and I said, hell yeah, they ask me, I'll be there, I'll make the time. But like, I don't know, I don't want to be that, I don't know, part of me just is like, I don't want to be that little channel that's like trying to like reach out for clout or whatever, you know. I don't know, I feel weird. I just feel guilty if I ask about it, I guess. Quit Naomi after episode 5. How do I rank the Marvel Disney Plus shows? WandaVision's my favorite so far. Hawkeye's my second favorite. I lied. Loki's my second favorite. Hawkeye's my third favorite. Falcon's my fourth favorite. And What If is number 5 for me right now. It's like how I felt when I was watching the Hawkeye reactions. So I stopped doing them on my channel. Really? I really liked Hawkeye. But yeah, I mean, if you're really not feeling it, it's rough. It's hard. It's really hard. Because, like, it's, I know a lot. Once you start going something, everybody, like, really wants to know your feelings on something. They want to know how you reacted. Because everybody wants to kind of have that kind of validation through the reaction process. But, like, when you're on the other side of it, I mean, like, sometimes hours, like, at minimum, it takes about 4 hours. Recording, editing, that's if everything goes smoothly. Anywhere from 4 hours to, I think even my longest that it's taken to get one video up has been 12. Anywhere from 4 hours to 12 hours to get a video up in a day when, you know, I got a normal job that I'm doing full time, got people in my life I have to give attention to. It's rough, man, especially if it turns out you're not really feeling it anymore. Like, if you guys were keeping up with my other DC TV reactions, I almost gave up on Batwoman in the middle of season 2. I almost gave up on Legends. I was really losing my interest. It just sucks. Because I don't want to poop on, I don't want to yuck anyone's yum, you know, and I want to enjoy it. That's part of the fun of the whole thing, but I'm not going to lie to you guys either. And if I start to lose interest in a thing, it's just like hard to make yourself go through all of that. It sucks. It sucks. But even despite that, though, out of the fun of it, I was like, listen, I give Titan such a hard time. Worst case scenario, I might have fun bashing on Titan Season 3, and I still ended up mostly enjoying it. I don't know. It's hit or miss sometimes, but it's just rough. And who knows? Sometimes I made it over a hump, like with Batwoman Season 2. The middle of it was pissing me off. Middle of that season was just so annoying, poorly written, and just battering my brain into mush. And then the last half of season 2 I thought was awesome. So, and season 3 was pretty consistent all the way through. I don't think there's an episode of season 3 that I didn't dislike, that I didn't enjoy, at least on some level. And there's some annoyance that I had with certain things they troped into here and there, but overall I really enjoyed season 3. So sometimes, I don't know, maybe being persistent and going through a hump can help, but sometimes it's not worth the effort, man. Sometimes you just gotta know when to take yourself into consideration. I was so disappointed that Constantine got canceled. I love Matt Ryan. I was so invested how it ended. Finding out that it was canceled, I was so pissed. See, I still need to finish that. I was watching that on my own time, and I just hadn't finished it. And I don't know how fluidly it connects to his version of Constantine that's in the Arrowverse, like if it's actually a continuation of that or not. Walking Dead explained why people told Maggie they're leaving. She, as a leader, didn't listen, and why she's so stubborn. I don't know, man. I don't know. I agree with you there. It's a little annoying. I agree. I felt a bit woozy after naming episode 1. Didn't stick with it. Just quit after episode 2. It's unbearable, but I'm glad some people like it. Amy is from Earth 29, just like in the comics. Yes, that is accurate. I did know that. Which superhero or superheroes are my favorite of all time? Batman is my number 1. Spider-Man, my number 2. From there, I would say Superman, Nightwing. No particular order after those first 2. Superman, Nightwing, Flash, Barry Allen specifically. The Arrow, Green Arrow. I don't like comic book Oliver Queen or animated Oliver Queen. I like Stephen Amell's Oliver Queen. I think that's the only Oliver Queen that I actually really like. And it's probably because there's a lot of crossover between that version of Oliver Queen and Batman, because they weren't allowed to use Batman, so they used Oliver Queen. But yeah. I'd say Spider-Man's probably my only Marvel hero that's that high up. Who else from That's a lie. Charlie Cox's Daredevil is in that top 10, I think. Who else from non-MCU Marvel shows do you think are going to appear in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness? Deadpool. I'm putting my money that Ryan Reynolds is lying his ass off about Deadpool. Justice League Ollie in the animated series was goated. I just don't like the traditional Green Arrow, you know? I love Justice League, the animated series, both that and Unlimited. But he was just never one of the characters I was really that interested in. Maybe I should rewatch it now as an adult, but who knows? Maybe that's different. But at the time, I just always found him really annoying. Courtney Cox has signed up for the next Scream. No word on Nev yet. Yeah, they've got the scripts. Courtney Cox has already said yes. Nev has not confirmed whether or not she'll be involved just yet. I don't know what they'll do next. I mean, they'll have to kill them off. I mean, they can't keep them coming back forever. And I don't want to be there for the day that Sydney dies. You know? I don't know. I gotta agree with the brother. I love Naomi a lot, and I'm hooked on it. Fair. Be cool to see you collab with White Noise Reacts or Seb Screen. Oh my god. That was loud as hell. You know, I don't think I've seen any of their stuff before. So I am going to bookmark this. And what's the other one? Seb Screen. And I haven't heard of either of these people. Oh, he's what? Seb's watching Avatar? Hell yeah. I've watched almost every new person checking out Avatar for the first time that exists. And you showed me I missed one. So damn. It's really cool. Why, yes. Did you hear that? Daredevil and Punisher writers are working on Echo. Yes. And now the Reservoir Dogs director are rumored to be the director. Wait. Do I remember Reservoir Dogs differently? If I can spell Reservoir. Gosh. Yeah, okay. So you're telling me Quentin Tarantino is rumored to be directing Echo. I highly doubt Quentin Tarantino would ever direct a MCU project, to be honest, but that would be badass. Because they're like, wait a minute, Reservoir Dogs is Quentin Tarantino. What? That'd be nuts. But yeah, I did hear about the Daredevil and Punisher writers are working on Echo, which is one of the reasons I'm excited for it. What's up, East Blue? I got confused in Flash season 2, even though I love that season. But was that Caitlin as Killer Frost, or was that Killer Frost who was taking over Caitlin's body, or was that Caitlin and Frost put together? I don't remember. From what I remember, it was Caitlin with that persona kind of leeching out. I don't remember. I'd have to rewatch season 2. I thought that was just her powers manifesting in herself. I thought it was just Caitlin as Killer Frost. But I could be remembering it incorrectly. No, I don't think like that. Just ask. The worst I can say is no. I have a super tiny channel, but I did my first collab yesterday. I'm doing one with a bigger channel in April. Well, awesome. I need to check out your stuff then, too. You ever talk to JVS crew? I feel like you and JV would really get along. We've talked a little bit on Twitter, and like kind of mentioned, JVS was also in some of those reactor trivia things we did. We had some representatives from over there popping in, competing. Hopefully in a few years, we'll be going to premieres and getting screeners. I would have to move. Screeners is a possibility, I guess, in my future. Remote being not near anything. premieres would be great, but I would have to either fly or move to somewhere where they have them. Because I'm pretty sure the closest city that gets premieres or shows premieres that in my neck of the woods is probably 8 hours away. 8 to 10 hours away. Rough. Body in one body. Kind of makes you feel bad putting out negative reactions because I know how much people love these characters and don't want to just say negative things about the show. Exactly. And I feel bad about it. But I don't want to, like, sugarcoat anything either, or lie or be fake at the same time. So my reaction is going to be my reaction. I try to be as fair as possible most of the time. I don't try to hate anything, which is, I think, at least good. When I do not like something, I'm usually pretty fair about it, unless it's Titans, and then I will grill it to all hell. Or something in the Arrowverse, but I still watch all of the Arrowverse, so I feel like I'm entitled to still shit on it while I'm watching it. DC shows or Marvel shows? Which ones do I enjoy the most? DC, easy. DC shows. Yeah, DC shows. I enjoy them way more than any of the Marvel shows I've watched so far. Do I watch Real Reject Superman and Lois reactions? I do. I like how emotional you get sometimes when watch some of my Superman and Lois reactions. Well, thank you. I try to be as vulnerable as possible. I held myself back quite well. I know not everybody on the channel is watching my Blind Manor stuff, but I just recorded episode 4 last night, and there is a scene in there that almost had me ugly crying. Like, I was fighting it because it, like, touched on some stuff that I've gone through, and it was rough. I think the only other person I've seen like straight up ugly cry on camera watching something has been like Natalie Gold a few times, and Adam at Previewed. I forget what it was though, what episode it was and what it was from, but man, he just was gone. I love that though. It just shows you that we're invested, we're watching, we're involved. And like, even though I've never been the best at expressing or talking about my feelings, man, I feel things pretty strongly. Introverted empath, you know, it's rough. Whew. Has a reaction ever not recorded Omni? I swear I watched a reaction recently. It felt like they had seen it already because their responses were a little early in parts. I bet they had to re-record. Has a reaction ever not recorded? I've had issues with recordings where I had to like edit around certain things or pause something, rewind it, and go back through because either I lost connection or I accidentally hit a button. Like, there's been a couple times where I accidentally hit the wrong button, think I'm in this window, and then I stop my recording on accident. I'm like, shit, now it's not recording. Now I have to go back and reline everything up. There has been some stuff that's not been my first watch, but if I remember right, it was more back in the day than anything. I'm sure it's happened once or twice. I just can't think of an instance at the moment. I'm sure it has. But I try to be transparent, at least, generally, whenever that happens. I think it's mostly been with some trailers back in the day. I'll be honest, like back, like when in my first year doing reactions and stuff, like sometimes I'm just like, impatient. I try not to do that anymore. Let's see, think. Has it ever happened with an episode of something? If it has, I can't think about it right now. Yes, that was it, Summer. Sorry, you called it out ahead of time. Adam Ugly cried in Squid Game on the Marvel episode. That was it. Yes. And yeah, for the He-Man trailer, that was it. That was the ones I was thinking of. Oh my god, Squid Game. That got me. That got me. Oh, I could tell you one for certain that was my second reaction. I'll out myself. The first trailer that ever came out for Kingdom Hearts 3, I 100% watched that on my own because I could not wait. And then I recorded a reaction for it later, and I still cried like a little bitch to watching that trailer, man. Sometimes a trailer or something, I love it so much, it does not matter how many times I've seen it. I will react the same way every time. And yeah, Deshanis makes, I don't know if I said your name right at all. Diashas? Tell me how to say your name. I don't want to say it wrong. Makes a good point. Sometimes we just fuck up the syncing. Like there's been many a time where no matter what I do, I feel like my syncing is off a little bit. And yeah, there's been some times where I just fucked it up and like it seems like I'm reacting ahead of time or I'm anticipating shit. So sometimes that could be the case. I think the only time it's fun to watch something you don't like is when it's universally hated and everyone is uncomfortable ripping on it. That's fair. That's fair. Just like, okay, I already read that one. What's up, Sheena? You're late. Is it almost over? Well, we're still going pretty strong, so I don't know if we're going to be ending yet. I've seen the John Stewart Green Lantern pictures. Really hate how WB hasn't shown anything with Green Lantern yet. Yeah, I saw it, and I'm still irritated as all hell that they did this whole, it's Snyder's vision, we're finally letting him do that, except that. You can't do that. There were still so many things they said he cannot do, so they still lied about all of what the Snyder Cut we got was. Like 95, 97% is what he wanted to do, but there was still like a 3% of the movie that they made him change. And that was one of them. And it looks great. And again, I've said this before. I want Jon Stewart in live action. Give it to me now. When is Young Justice coming back? The 31st? Yes, the 31st. I had to check the calendar. Yeah, it comes back March 31st. So 2 weeks. Would I watch a spinoff show with Goldface? I'd give it a shot. I would give it a shot. I watch so many YouTubers' Avatar reactions. It's still one of my top 10 favorite shows, live action, animated of all time. Doesn't matter. Avatar is one of my favorites, and when it found that resurgence after it came to Netflix, and all kinds of people were watching it for the first time, I went down a rabbit hole for weeks watching everybody's reactions to the show. Finding people who had done it in the past before, like Blind Wave and your boy Roshi and all them and stuff, who had reacted to it before the Netflix roundabout. But mostly is like I found a lot of new channels because they were watching Avatar. And it was so much fun, man. I wish I could rewatch that show. I wish I could have rode that wave. And but it was so much fun seeing everybody genuinely experience it again, like experience it for the first time, and like that's the closest thing. That's why I like watching reactions. That's why I understand people watch reactions. Once you see something, the closest you can get to that feeling of watching it for the first time is seeing it again through somebody else's eyes. That's why I love sharing what I love with somebody else, like whether it be a friend, significant other, whatever, and hoping they enjoy it like I enjoy it. And then seeing other people experience it, because it's just like a validation of your love for something. And sometimes, it could be eye-opening. You can get other perspectives. Maybe they can bring you down a peg on something you love. Maybe show you different sides of things that you really enjoyed. Maybe round out you a little bit. Maybe even poke holes in something you love. Who knows? But it's just fun. It's just fun. We would love to have a CW Batman instead of a CW Arrow, but WB is so evil. Yeah, but surprisingly enough, I really liked what they did with Oliver Queen. If it had been Batman, I don't know if I would have liked it as much. I mean, I would have liked it because it was Batman, but who knows? They could have fucked up Batman. I liked it being disconnected, but being very similar. So I don't know what it is. I don't know. I like the Arrow spin, but who knows? I'm glad. I think it worked out for the better in... Personally, who knows? We never know what the Batman show could have been if they actually... WB didn't, like, cut it out. Never know. Would you do a mean reaction where you just hate on a show? You seem too nice. I think Jay Longbone is hilarious, but sometimes I feel just stop watching. For a show, no. Titans was the closest for that. And I'd only say that for Titans because I hate season 1. Season 2 was better. I want DC shows to improve. Like, I don't want them to suck. I don't want them to be bad. So when I agreed to react to season 3 of Titans, there was very much a chance I knew I wasn't going to like it. But there was my hope that they would learn from the past seasons and do better. They did. And I was surprised by how much I enjoyed season 3. I had fun with it. I did still tear it apart here at times because it still had a lot of the same writing problems they've had in the past. Some things that didn't add up or make sense, some weird decisions here and there, but overall, it was a vast improvement from what came before. Had it been bad, had I not enjoyed it, I probably would have saw it to the end of its conclusion. But yeah, thankfully, it wasn't nearly as bad as it was before, but I will continue to ream on seasons 1 and 2. Tarantino is not doing that. Yeah, I would definitely say not. Maybe they meant Reservation Dogs. What is Reservation Dogs? Oh, I've seen stuff about this. That would make way more sense for them to direct Echo. That makes way more sense for that team to direct. Who knows? I haven't seen Reservation Dogs. What aesthetic do you wish would be in more movies? Synthwave, Art Deco, 90s pleather goth. We've gotten some 80s with Stranger Things, Wonder Woman 84. We've gotten a lot of 80s vibes here lately. Synthwave is more neon on black. Yeah, I see. I get that. I don't know. Maybe we had a lot of Art Deco in the 90s. You know, between Batman, Ghostbusters, you know, a lot of stuff like that. Kind of playing around with that. Let's do some pleather goth. Give me some more goth babes. Give me some more goth aesthetic. Man, it wasn't until maybe like, I mean, my wardrobe is still mostly black, but I was an honorary goth boy when I was a kid. So I'll go with that. Sorry, autocorrect got me fucked up. It was Reservation Dogs. Okay, that makes way more sense. Thank you for the correction, Arjun. What if Spider-Man kills Green Goblin? That would be crazy. How would I feel about it? I mean, it would. I don't know. It would go into what Toby experienced. It wouldn't be the first time, but I don't know. I'm glad that he didn't. It would be an interesting thing to see how, if he did, how that would carry on his shoulders moving forward. I wouldn't be against it, to be honest, as long as he learns from it and it becomes like a teachable moment. Though I'd love to see Tarantino's take on Punisher. That could be fun. What scene made me cry in Bly? I mean, I don't want to. I mean, it's I'll just say in episode 4, the campfire scene, when Raul Kalani's talking about his mom. If they're going to do another Scream, I think they should close it out on the next movie. Agree what you said about Courtney. Has anyone seen Kingsman? I swear that movie is so good and completely flew under the radar. I know, man. I completely missed when it was in theaters. Completely forgot. Actually, the marketing for it just disappeared after it got delayed, and then I just finally saw it's now on streaming somewhere. I forget where I saw it pop up, but it's streaming now. I completely missed it. I really liked the first Kingsman. I was really disappointed by the second one, but I saw the trailer and I wanted to check it out. I just have not got around to it. Do you think Marvel will do their own version of superhero characters in their own universe, not in MCU Prime universe? I doubt it. I think they'll keep it unless it's in What If or as cameo appearances in some of these multiversal shows like Loki, What If, whatever happens with Doctor Strange moving forward. I think most of the things we're going to see is going to be in the Prime universe. The Flash may be crying more than Superman and Lois, if I'm being fair, but that John scene with Clark got me when Sarah told Jordan that she kissed somebody. That made me feel mad right now. So how would Sarah do that? I mean, the Flash has had way more episodes, so it's like it's only realistic that the Flash would make you cry more than Superman and Lois. Like, even though there's like what 8 seasons of the Flash, even if you compare it like season to season, the Flash has more episodes in the season than Superman and Lois, so way more opportunities for sure. Yeah, I've cried a lot in the Flash. I'm not gonna lie, but I'd say like cries per episode count per season. I think my percentage is already higher in Superman and Lois for how much tears it's jerked out of me in like a small window. I think Suska says tends to ugly cry too. I only just recently started watching some of her stuff. Disha. Okay, Disha. Thank you. I appreciate that. I feel bad whenever I can't. I worry about mispronouncing people's names right, and if I thank you. Appreciate it, Disha. I rewatch reaction videos to various Black Panther trailers when I'm feeling down because watching people's joy in it makes me cry yet it's happy at the same time. Yes, I agree. Thinking could be the problem. Exactly. Would it hurt to see Jon Stewart? Feige would have done it for sure. Yeah, what are your thoughts on Legends Season 7? I thought it was fun. I like it was a lot more self-contained. I like it was a lot more focused, a lot more character-driven, less nonsense, while still having some of that fair amount of nonsense involved. I liked it better than Season 6. I'll say you that. Season 2 is still my favorite season of Legends. Loved Eric's reaction to Season 2 finale of Mandalorian. Crying, calling himself, I'm just such a fucking nerd. That's another one too. That was another fun one to watch all of the reactions to. I was in such disbelief and doubt and denial up until the moment. I think it took a while for my brain to register what was happening. The Boy Show is one of my favorite Avatar reactions. Yes, there's a really good. What's my favorite live action TV show of all time? The X-Files. Hands down, The X-Files. I enjoy Boba's development in Book of Boba Fett. Some criticized that he seemed too weak. What did you think of his character arc for the show? I don't think we saw enough of it. Like, I expected him to get where he got, but I feel like we needed more time with Boba being Boba. I think we didn't get to know Boba enough in his own show. I don't think he really spent much time with Boba in his own show. I liked it. You see my reactions. I talked about it. I've watched all the episodes. They're all on the channel. I enjoyed the season overall, but I do think that like his development wasn't as fleshed out as I would have liked. Disney Pixar never have a connection with other movies like The Incredibles, Cars, and other movies. I wonder what that was in. I'm not sure what that was in connection to, but you are correct. Do you have AMC A-List where you can watch 3 movies weekly, free weekly in any format? I'm in a trial period right now. I don't have any AMC theaters in my neck of the woods. I have a Cinemark that's 40 minutes away, I have a Regal that's 20 minutes away, and I have a Regal, what's it called? Whatever Regal's pass is. $20 a month, I can see as many movies for free as I want. I just have to go watch it at the channel, or at the theater. Sometimes I just don't feel like driving out there, man. That's all it really comes down to a lot of the time. And finding time to go check it out. Unless it's a big tentpole thing, it's really hard for me to get the motivation to leave the house a lot of the time. But yeah, that's my only option. And it's like it's kind of a junky theater because it used to be a different chain and Regal bought it out. That's those are my closest chain theaters. Aside from that, it's a really expensive one that has really nice seats. The only one in the area that has reserved seating, but it's super expensive and it's like 30, 40 minutes away. But they don't have any kind of subscription or anything like that there because they're not one of the big old chainy boys. Junky. It is kind of junky. I mean, hell, what, 2 or 3 of their theaters, like, last month didn't have AC or functioning heat? Dude, I went and saw Jaws. Because they were playing Jaws, because they were doing some retro movies in some of the screeners. No, it was The Matrix. That was when I went in there. I did go see Jaws, but I did go see The Matrix, the first one, for the big screen, because I wasn't old enough to go see it when it came out. I watched it on VHS when it came to VHS, but my parents would not take me to go see it in theaters when it came out, so I had to wait on that one. So this was the first time I saw it theatrically, and it was like 30 degrees for that whole movie. It was rough. I read that the Academy Award nominee Graham Greene from American Gods, Longmire, Wind River, and Dancing with Wolves fame has joined the cast of Echo. Oh, that's cool. I don't recognize that name. Graham Greene. That is not Graham Greene. Oh, okay. I have definitely seen this guy before. And actually, I just had to type that in. All right. All right. Oh yeah, I just saw him in he was just in Antlers. I was like, yeah, he looks like and I'm going to, before I say it, because I say this sometimes with great confidence and sometimes I do doubt myself, but keep on scrolling. Going to be down here near the bottom, aren't you? If you're on here at all. Hold up. I'm almost confident, but I just don't want to say anything and be wrong. Okay, never mind. It's not on his IMDb. Why is it a top search form for this guy? Okay, never mind. Oh well. Anyway, moving on. What ifs would I like to see in season 2? They have already said season 2 will focus more on phase 4 stuff. I'd like to see some more Spider-Man stuff. Again, I don't know what specifically. I don't think that much ahead for certain things. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not too sure. I'm sorry. I hate copping out on stuff like that. I cannot think of anything at the moment. Just started watching you from your Stranger Things reaction. I really like your channel. I'm excited for more reactions. Oh, well, thank you, Lucas. That really means a lot to me, man. Sometimes I worry about sharing stuff I love with people, because that episode of Big Bang where Amy ruins Raiders. Don't ruin my stuff. I love a movie called I Am Sam. A buddy said it was fine. Yeah. I'm the same way too, though. Same way. Watch The Kingsman. You will think it's Inglourious Bastards inspired. Okay. I will check it out. Have you seen your boy Roshi's Cobra Kai reactions? Because those are funny. Yes, they are hilarious. I have laughed out loud to some of the shit those guys have said watching that show. Them and Sean Tank Top crack me up sometimes, though Sean has a little bit of a shtick that can be a little off-putting sometimes. Like, sometimes they go down a rabbit hole that just gets kind of uncomfortable at times. I'm hyped to see Christian Bale in the MCU. They're introducing a lot of gods. Bass, Zeus, and in that movie with the God the Butcher, with Gore the God Butcher, whatever. You know what I mean. Probably a lot of them would get killed off, more than likely. Also, for Avatar, White Noise Anime Reacts started posting the reactions. Man, anime scares me. I think we saw Scream and it was freezing. Yeah, it was. Scream was also, when we went to see that, the temperature was awful. So cold. Favorite live action superhero show of all time? Do you think a live action CW Batman show with Bruce Timm and Paul Dini would work? Well, yeah, definitely. I think that could work. But right now, I think my favorite live action superhero show of all time is Arrow. I think it's Arrow for me right now. My cinema has kept reserved seating. Probably the only good thing to come from COVID. They introduced it because of the social distancing. Yeah, we only have one around here that has reserved seating, and it's the most expensive theater. Like I said, it's also the one that's not a chain, so I can't go see things for free. So I will take free over comfort most of the time. Caught you live. What's up, Andre? Just subbed and found myself looking you up for your reactions and commentary and reviews. You do an awesome job. I think you're really thoughtful. Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. I try. Because I try to add more than just the reaction. Because I think the reaction is like the easy part. Not to put it down. Like, editing it, by far, not hard as shit. But like, that you're watching, you're reacting. That's fun. But I think like breaking it down, adding review, a commentary, a thought, an analysis, talking and running through what you had just watched is like where a lot of the meat is. I think a lot of the euphoria and the like serotonin comes from the reactions. Obviously, that's the fun bit to watch, but I just like really diving into it, because you can't do that. You can talk like a little bit here and there during the reaction, but you can't, like, because if you do it too much, you miss a bunch of shit. So it's hard to really dive into stuff, and I really like trying to dive into what we watched in the beginning, or watched after it's over. Though, of course, and I'm a bit guilty of it myself, a lot of people tune out after the reaction. What did I skip, Jordan? Maybe it was Resident Evil. It was one of the two. It was one of the two. I don't remember which one it was. Antlers was indeed a wild movie. I enjoyed it. What's my favorite comfort food? Pizza. Pizza. We saw Kingsman first and second one. Are you meaning the King's Man? Yeah. The word. I'm pretty sure. I've been assuming that they were talking about the King's Man, the new one. Thoughts on Steven Spielberg directed sequel to Steve McQueen's Bullet, casting Shia LaBeouf. I don't know anything about Steve McQueen's Bullet, so it's Steven Spielberg. I trust Steven Spielberg, but I don't know anything about that series. I've always heard the name Steve McQueen, but I don't have a face to add to the name. I don't know a filmography. Big ol' means nothing to me, unfortunately. So I really don't have a thought on it. There's a rumored MCU Man-Thing project happening next year. Have I heard of it? No, I have not heard anything about that. Falling way behind on Marvel Comics, but Echo has the Phoenix Force now. No idea why, but if they ever want to introduce it to Skip Gene, that would be insane. Our cinemas here in South Africa have reserved seating and still have limited capacity because of COVID. You skipped my Avatar comment. What's that funny scene from Avatar? Where was that? I don't see it. I don't see that. I see your boy Roshi's is one of my favorite Avatar reactions, and then I don't have another chat from you until you asked if I had seen your boy Roshi's Cobra Kai reactions, because those are funny. I don't see one about you talking about Avatar. Huh. Yeah, I don't see it. Sorry, man. I don't know. I don't see it in the chat at all. Lightyear, I can wait for that movie. What if Buzz Lightyear went to wrong Earth, saw incredible fighting robot on first movie? That would be nuts. I'm looking forward to Lightyear. I think it looks cool. Yeah, still, I can't find it. When do you think Superman and Lois will end? Whenever it gets canceled or they decide to call it quits. I don't know. I have no way of knowing right now, unfortunately. Hopefully, it'll go on and keep being great forever. Not forever, but until it runs its course. Mads Mikkelsen as Scarecrow sounds great. Who would you cast him as in DC other than Scarecrow? Hold on. I don't know. Jason Blood, maybe? Etrigan's human host? Maybe even Zatara? I don't know. Has there been a release for Doctor Strange tickets? Have I heard anything? I have not. I don't know yet. I don't think so. Gotta go. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Well, thank you for stopping in, Justine. I hope you have a good rest of your weekend as well. So many different reactors. I stopped watching a few channels just because I felt that there wasn't enough substance to the reactions. I recently subscribed to Get Jabby. He's pretty good. Yeah, he's Greg Alba's brother. I'm subscribed to him too, though I don't watch his stuff nearly as much, to be honest. And heck, sometimes there's some reactions that I prefer to watch on certain channels rather than others. But those same channels have stuff that I prefer to watch them for other things. I don't know. I think every reactor kind of has their own little flair to bring to something. Sometimes it's different. Sometimes I like their commentary for different things. So yeah, I feel that. When do I want Superman and Lois to end? With season 5? I mean, I can't. There's no way to know that. I mean, I want it to end when they conclude their story satisfactorily. That could be season 5, season 6, season 7. I want them to keep going without, dragging their heels or anything like that. I mean, it's not really anything at all I can substantiate. You think Jordan on Superman and Lois is going to go to college, or do you think he will take over the farm so that he continues superheroing and not have to worry about papers and deadlines? Well, if he takes over the farm, he'll have to worry about taking care of the farm, which I think will be way more stress than papers and deadlines. But I don't know. I'm sure we'll see the boys go to college eventually. Also love the Batman shirt you're wearing. I'm hoping the next villain is Scarface and the ventriloquist. Maybe as a joke, Condiment King. Yeah, Warner Brothers actually sent me this shirt. So yeah, man. Thank you, WB. I know every now and then I talk some shit, but I do appreciate the love. Hopefully they don't watch these. I stopped watching some reactors because I feel like they pre-watch the shows. I get that vibe sometimes. There's some that I started to watch there initially, and then I was like, okay, I feel like this whole reaction's fake. There's been a couple of channels where I was like, okay, I'll give you a shot. And it's just like, you're fake crying right now. It's not a real cry. Like, it's so acted. I don't know. There's been a few that I, not saying naming names. There's been a couple that I've come across in the past that definitely I feel like they're putting up a front. It's all faked for the views. For the shtick. I don't know. And I really don't like that. I pride myself on being able to pick up things like that. Because I don't know. I'm, like I've mentioned many a time, I'm very empathetic. So I feel like I can always tell when someone's faking something. And I don't appreciate it. Oh, did you like the Batman movie? Because Akasan made a whole live on how he felt about the movie. Oh yeah, I'm 10 out of 10. I love it. I love it. Yeah, I know Akasan's not a fan. Not everybody's going to be. I definitely expected that out of the movie. But I liked it. I liked it a lot. Hell, most of the time, the things that people have complained about, just talking about it, like the things that they complained about, some of the times makes me like the movie more. It's just subjective, man. It just is. I'll be honest, some complaints I've heard from some people, not Akasan specifically, so I don't love the guy. So this isn't directed to him or anything like that, but I have seen reviews from people, like big people, huge people, like in the industry and stuff, call out criticisms that are just like, you said you watched this movie twice, but what you were saying tells me you didn't, because that was X and X was addressed. X and X was brought up. That thing you said is in there. You just didn't mention it. I was like, there's tone, vibe, the story, all that I can definitely understand not vibing with it. But like sometimes I've seen a lot of reviews try to call out specifics from the movie that the movie itself did in fact address quite a few times. So I'm just like, some people I feel like they just don't, they're in a bad mood. It's just not their vibe. They're projecting. I don't know. But people are allowed to feel how they feel about it. So I'm not out there trying to control other people's reactions or anything like that. But if somebody says something factually inaccurate about the movie, I'll call that out. But yeah, I haven't seen that. I haven't seen too much, but there's some people that I was like kind of surprised to hear some comments about. Like I said, you don't have to like the movie, but at least be accurate about what you're saying about it. And again, not talking about Akasan. I know this started with a comment about him, involving him, because I know he didn't like it, but he's not one of the people I'm talking about. What's up, man? New to the channel. Enjoy your reactions. Are you getting ready? Are you you ready for Moon Knight? Yes. Yes, man. I'm really ready. Ready for it. Can't wait. If you were to recast the live-action Addams Family for a whole new movie, who would you have? I'd love to keep Oscar Isaacs for Gomez. Okay, hold on. Okay, this will be fun. Ah, Morticia. Damn, she's not tall enough. Oscar Isaacs could be a great Gomez. Oscar Isaacs or Pedro Pascal as Gomez. I would be okay with either of those. As far as the kids go, I'm not too sure who would work these days that's that young. To be like Wednesday and shit. Pugsley. Maybe the kid that plays Dustin could be Pugsley. Yeah, the child actors is where I'm going to kind of struggle to cast somebody, because I'll probably just straight pull from like big names that we've already seen. Like the only name I can go to is like Millie Bobby Brown maybe is Wednesday, but I just really have that goth vibe. My initial thought was Kat Dennings for Morticia, but she's not tall enough. The voice actress for Lady Dimitrescu in Resident Evil 8 could actually play Morticia. But I need that good, strong goth mommy vibes from somebody, and I don't know who that would be. I don't know, man. That's a little tough, but I can agree with you on Gomez. The rest of it, I would need a lot more time to think about. I gave up on a couple who reacts to Marvel stuff. My spidey sense was tingling. You ain't nerds. I don't think that's a necessary, but sometimes I do definitely get the feeling that they're trying to appeal to the audience rather than actually genuinely enjoy the thing. Yeah, I went to 2 other friends and they complained about the length, which I can understand. I had issues with it for different reasons, but I enjoyed it overall. Naka-san didn't enjoy Winter Soldier the first time I watched it either. Really? Are you excited for Avatar 2? No. How did you feel about the first one? I thought it was okay. It was the best 3D movie I've ever seen. It looked great. I was not wowed by Avatar, the movie specifically. So I'm still dumbfounded that there's all this need for an Avatar 2, 3, and 4, and 5 that were greenlit to 5 total Avatar movies, which is insane to me. I hope Aka isn't watching the chat. I'll bring him in. We can talk. I never understood why people think boycotting something is ever successful. I mean, it can be, but it's just the thing is, like, most people, even the people that say they're going to boycott something, end up contradicting that themselves, or they'll not admit it, or they'll still watch the thing. They'll still do this thing. It's just fucking clout points most of the time anymore. What about McKenna Grace? Who am I getting that? I could see that. I could see that. Who am I getting her mixed up with? Every time I hear McKenna Grace, I get her name mixed up with somebody else. And I get the faces mixed up between these names too. Wow, it's not even close. I always get Mackenzie Davis and McKenna Grace mixed up for some reason. Don't ask why. I don't know. Now that I put that together, I get completely... I don't know how I got from there to there. Did I watch The Proud Family? Because I only watched the Married to the Real reactions. I watched the original, not like religiously or anything, but I watched the original growing up. I haven't seen any of the new stuff, though. The reboot. No, I haven't watched it. I haven't watched anybody's reactions to it either. People said they were going to boycott Star Wars after The Last Jedi. Never happened. Rise made over $1 billion. People said they were going to boycott Marvel after Captain Marvel. Endgame made $3 billion. People say what they want to say, and it just doesn't happen. Brie Larson is alright as Captain Marvel, but Charlize Theron or Catherine Winnick would have kicked ass. Charlize Theron. Now that's a catch. Woo! 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 Oh, wait. Give me Cate Blanchett. I know that whole other thing. Cate Blanchett as my Morticia. Give it now. Anyway, back to your scheduled programming. What are your thoughts on John's XK storyline? I like the recent episode in the story since John is facing the consequences. I don't like how the story started. John already learned from Lois that sometimes in the super family you just have to hold the wrench, and that's okay. He's still young. He's still going to make mistakes. He's still getting that push and pull. He didn't learn a lesson. He was told a thing. You can't change how you feel. You can't change how all of that continuously gets reinforced that you're not special. I mean, he doesn't have John Henry there to keep him distracted, to help him out. He's still outside the family in a lot of ways. And even the one thing that he's excelling at, he's not getting any attention for: football. So, no, it was addressed. I don't think anything was learned until now. And there's still more to learn from that. He's 14. So, yeah, man. No, I liked it. It makes complete sense for me. Sucks, but it's happened. I find it greatly, like, incredibly realistic. So yeah, I liked it. I don't count Solo as successful being boycott because Disney was dumb and reshot the movie and hired a new director and cut their budget for blah, blah, blah. Yes, they did inflate their budget. They did shoot themselves in the foot. And I think it was like there wasn't an interest in a Solo story. Nobody really wanted that story. And it was in a time where we had like, what, 3 Star Wars movies within just a few months? Didn't they just, in the last episode, say that they were 14? I'm pretty sure in the last episode, they said 14. But anyway, yeah, Disney shot themselves in the foot with Solo. That's what I think happened there. That isn't really a creative story. Like I said, it's basically the same story they've written surrounding a white guy immersing in another culture. Yeah, it's 1,000 times. We've seen this story 1 billion times before, and I don't think they did it any better other than the tech demo that it was for VFX at the time. And for 3D. Avatar was the definition of spectacle over substance. Yes. Kenna Grace looks like a mini Kieran Shipka. Julia Dennison could play Pugsley. Oh, okay. He's the kid in Deadpool 2, right? Or I'm getting my faces messed up. No, that's the same kid. Yeah, I could go with that as Pugsley. Or hold on, sorry, it doubled their budget. Marketing, it was probably, yep. I'd love to see Charlize Theron on a remake of Running Man. I think it'd be amazing. Maybe have Sebastian Stan as the game show host. That could be interesting. That'd be cool. I don't know why people think the Batman is way better than the Dark Knight, but music sounds like a scary movie. I don't think it's way better than The Dark Knight. I personally have it ranked higher than The Dark Knight, but not by much. It is barely higher than The Dark Knight. Literally cannot stand Jonathan's girlfriend. One thing Superman Lois is good at is making people believably unlikable. Yep. Jonathan's girlfriend is the villain of the season. She's the true villain. Hell yeah, I go with that. I trust James Cameron. I think he's going to do what he did with Avatar with both story and visuals. I don't think he did anything good with the story in Avatar. I will just have to wait and see. They're hyping it up. They're like, actress cried reading script. Actress watched the first scene for the first couple minutes of Avatar and burst into tears. They're really trying to hype up this. I don't know. I can't get on board with it, man. I don't think Avatar should be getting a sequel. I don't think it should either. Story alone is problematic. Like a white guy immersing himself in native culture and becoming the best of that people at everything they do. It's continuing that whole trope. I remember when they pitched all these Avatar sequels, they were all supposed to be unconnected, different stories. That was the original pitch. Now they're all on Pandora. They were all supposed to be in different cultures, different stories, different settings, different people, different characters. That was the original pitch, and I'm pretty sure that's changed. Because one, we've got most of the cast coming back for this one. At least the ones that survived. Like Last Samurai, anyone? Dances with Wolves, Fern Gully. All the same story. Retold. But then again, to be fair, most stories are the same story we've seen before somewhere. Everything's re-echoed and re-upped and re-skinned. That's how stories transcend. I just don't think James Cameron did anything new with it or innovative outside of the technology. It made a really long, story-driven theme park ride. I love watching Married to the Real's reactions to The Flash because I love how Trey gets so excited for The Flash. Me too. Because at the same time, he'll get really upset when something stupid happens. I love watching their Arrowverse reactions, man. I really do. What type of camera am I using? It is a Sony 6400A or A6400. I forget which way the A goes. It's a DSLR. The funniest scene in Avatar was when Aang was dreaming of Katara. I don't know what I would say the funniest scene was for me. I don't know. I'd have to think about that. James Cameron is also known to be a douche. The actress was probably crying because he was yelling at her. Oh yeah, James Cameron is notably difficult to work with. But man, he gets results. What's funny is most of his movies come about for his desire to basically go on vacation. Like Titanic. That only happened because he personally wanted to be able to scuba dive down to the wreckage, but he didn't want to pay for it. So he told the studio he wanted to make a movie about the Titanic, but had not written the story yet. They paid for it. He got his vacation to go scuba diving, seeing the wreckage. He made a movie about it. And I remember a similar story surrounding Avatar about the settings and the locations that they went to. Most of the time, James Cameron anymore is just making movies around places he wants to go so that he can get his vacations paid for. It's funny because it's hilarious. But he is talented, but he's also made some really terrible decisions because a lot of what happened in Terminator Dark Fate was James Cameron's idea. A lot of stuff that they did wrong in the more recent. Same thing with Ridley Scott, too. This is another one that's kind of, at this point, sometimes you need to try to get a fresh take on something. Was Ridley Scott. You know, he's keeps trying to reinvigorate the Alien franchise, but he's doing the most damage to it, if anything. I don't know. I don't know, man. I really don't. Avatar never dies. The only franchise worthy of being called Avatar is Nickelodeon series. Like, and James Cameron tried to sue them for having their name. Like, the reason that movie was shit. M. Night's Last Airbender. But they weren't allowed to call it Avatar: The Last Airbender because James Cameron was going to sue them for using the same name, which is ridiculous because technically Avatar: The Last Airbender, the series, came first, so it's dumb. Anyway, Sony, that's an advertisement. They need to sponsor you now. Hell yeah, I'll take it. Wedding scene was in Sokka. I was expecting Suki and Zuko. Yes, never mind. Yeah, that one right there. That one gets me every time. Because I was just like, they were so gonna bang. They were definitely gearing up. I've seen Avatar, the first one with the blue things. It looked like Animal. The second one is coming out this year. Yeah, that's what we've been talking about this whole time. I like it more if they just do the missing. Like it more if they just do what was missing from last season and just do like a live action version of season 4. Even though I would like it more if it was just animated. What? Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Now I feel like some people are getting confused between the blue cat people, and Avatar: The Last Airbender now, because we're getting juggling conversations between Avatar, the animated series, and Avatar, the James Cameron movie. Oh, I pretend Terminator Dark Fate didn't happen. How could they do that to John? God, there's so many problems with Terminator Dark Fate. Jesus Christ. Oh my lord. I don't know. I could be being pessimistic about Avatar 2, but who knows? Could be interesting. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. I don't want it to be bad. There's just nothing about it that excites me right now. Like I said before, I don't want things to be bad. I want things to be good. I want things to succeed, but not good. We all know which Avatar is best. Thanks for your opinion about John's story. He actually made some good points. I just don't want them to repeat some plot lines like The Flash. Fair enough. Well, at least Dark Fate is better than Terminator 3, Salvation, and Genesis. I did say that I hate Dark Fate. It is terrible, but it's still the best sequel. Like, even though it retreads, repastes, copies, retells so many of the same stories we already had in the first 2 films, does nothing original, and does some terrible shit that borderline ruins the franchise. Yes, it is still better and more enjoyable to watch than Terminator 3, Salvation, and Genesis. I agree with that. Have I seen AG and Chill's Avatar reactions? Because he said he wanted a miniseries of Roku. Yes, I did watch his Avatar reactions. I wouldn't mind a animated miniseries about Roku. That'd be cool. How long are we going right now? Man, we're almost at 4 hours. Damn, man, we've been trudging through all of this, man. Hell yeah. Sorry, man. We've been having some good conversations today. Dark Fate was also meh, but I agree. I mean, the bar is really low. The bar is so low. Like, for a sequel to Terminator post Judgment Day, T2. To be better than those 3 movies isn't that difficult, I would imagine. Had the biggest crush on Katara in season 3, still kind of do. Growing up, when I was growing up, when I was watching it, I was growing up, I think Ty Lee, I definitely was not the only one, was the one I think I crushed on the most out of anybody in the show. Potato. I think one of the reasons Logan is so amazing is that it stylizes after a Western. Again, I have not seen Logan. As Winter Soldier is stylized after a spy thriller. What would be another good genre to play with? Horror! Give me superhero horror. I was excited for that, as that was what was promised in New Mutants, and they backed down. Give me superhero horror. Rawr. But, guys, I want to get some food. I'm going to eat. I might, don't hold me to this because it is the weekend, so I don't know. I might be back for some Elden Ring tonight. I might just relax and just chill on my own. Keep an eye out for that. Will I ever post reactions to Constantine? I mean, I could rewatch the first 4 episodes. 5. I didn't get very far. So, maybe at some point, I don't know. I haven't really thought about it, but it's possible. I don't ever want to say no to will I do or not do a series, but I'll definitely consider it. And yes, we got some agreement here from Desha. Thanks for coming in, Desha. I really appreciate joining in. Seeing some new faces is always fun. And I will have to check out your stuff. That being said, the list goes as far as Dark Fate, Salvation, a literal pile of shit, and Genesis. T3 are tied for worst Terminator movie. I agree with that. I'll back that up. Have a good one. Don't. I actually like Keanu Reeves' Constantine. Don't judge, please. Hey, I like it too. It is definitely not a very good Constantine adaptation, but I enjoyed it. I still like it. It's a fun watch. But sure. Which channel? Okay, we got some more stuff. Come on. We're wrapping it up. Wrapping it up, guys. Some of these haven't come in over here yet. Okay, here we go. Finally popping up. Which channel do I like more, John Campia or Grace Randolph? Some people hate both. I like them in terms of their reviews. Oh yeah, Campia. I like John Campia. I watched and listened to his podcast a lot. He's got a little more, I don't know. It's a lot more fun to hear him and Robert Meyer Burnett talk about some things. Now, he does say some dumb shit I don't agree with every now and then, but most of the time I like his takes. Grace is also hit or miss, but I don't have anything against her. I know she scoops a lot of things that a lot of people like harp on her for, but I got no ill will against her. But between the two, if I give it the choice, who am I going to listen to in a given day? It's going to be Campia. Plus, man, the production value that goes into his setup, goals. Probably the longest I've stayed in the stream. That hour changed, helped Night Omni. Well, glad it worked out. Until the fall when it goes back. Have a good night, man. Good evening, Summer. Good evening, Deshaun. Well, I don't know if you're on our side, but still. But guys, thank you all for tuning in. Hit me up on my socials. Follow, subscribe if you're not, all that jazz. You know how to do, but join the Discord. All the links are in the description of this jazz bar bow thing down below. Come hang out. Have a good weekend, everybody.